podcast doesn't exist. Episode 51. Welcome to the show, man. This is the week 3 edition, man. A lot of stuff going on this week. Braves punching themselves and others with the ball. The Braves got in a fight, Mitchell.
That was fun to watch.
I don't know if you could tell Mitchell likes the Braves. Braves shirt, Braves hat, Braves headphones.
Brave guy.
Brave guy. He's super brave, man. You would have been out there too, right? Throwing punches with host
I've been the first one out, you know.
Soler. Yeah, Braves fought the fuck out of the Angels, man. That was a good fight. One of the best fights I've seen in a while, man.
Probably the most unexpected fight.
Oh, you didn't expect it, dude. The cameras weren't even paying attention, dude. We were sleeping. Jorge Soler. He used to be a Brave. Now he's against the Braves. So the Braves getting a huge fight. They're punching people with balls. The Red Sox get into a fight. Everybody's fighting in MLB all of a sudden. The Rockies even got into a fight. The Rockies got 100 shirtless men at their games. They're fighting with the shirtless men in the stadium. The city of Pittsburgh has to order a warning because the fans are stealing and wearing traffic cones, bro. What the fuck? There's traffic cones, man. Pittsburgh's going crazy. Ichiro statue broken during a ceremony. Broken half. How disrespectful. That's Jack's favorite player, bro. Was it you, Jack, who didn't know who Ichiro was?
He thought
I said he was Filipino. Yeah.
He thought Ichiro was Filipino, and that's a common mistake.
Is it?
No.
Well, Ichiro is above any ethnicity. He has been raised to bronze. He's a bronze statue now, and he lives in Seattle. But his bat broke. So those are some of the stories. Then you also got the defending AL champions who are absolutely cooked right now, the Blue Jays. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, they find themselves in last place. And last year they were in the World Series. I don't know if you saw this. It was the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays in the World Series for all the marbles. This year they're playing again, but it's not the World Series. It's just a regular season matchup. So game 1, the Blue Jays really took that World Series personal. I know the Canadians are supposed to be polite, but they booed Shohei after all he's done for the game. They boo Shohei. And they boo Kyle Tucker, which I was surprised, but they had to boo Kyle Tucker because Kyle Tucker declined to go to the Blue Jays and instead went to go to the Dodgers, took the easy way out, and went to the good team. You could have went to the bad team, but he went to the good team. So they boo Shohei. They boo Kyle Tucker, and what do? They fuck him in the ass. 2 for 6 with a homer for Shohei. Kyle Tucker goes 1 for 3, scores 3 runs. The Dodgers get 17 hits, score 14 runs. Soundboard is back. Give a round of applause for Jack. For setting up the studio super nice, man. Look at him. Oh, he's on camera.
The Jack Cam back, baby.
The Jack Cam. And look at that nice, cool Baseball Doesn't Exist t-shirt. If you want one of those, too bad, bitch. They're not for sale. Exclusive. But studio looks nice. Jack's looks nice. And the bomb sound effect is back. And that
the bomb is intense, actually. that was crazy.
Well, that's what the Dodgers did to the Blue Jays. They went Hiroshima on the ass, all right? So 17 hits and 14 runs in game 1 embarrasses them. Max Scherzer leaves game 1 with an injury. He has forearm tendonitis for Scherzer. The piano playing is helping out with the thumb, but not so much the forearm. However, John Schneider says he's fairly confident Scherzer will make his next start. So let's put a pin in that right there. If we're following the timeline of events, Scherzer on Tuesday or Monday goes down with an injury, but it's going to be short term. We'll see what he does later in the week. In the meantime, the fucking Blue Jays have Looney Tunes night, Looney Dollar Dog night. So they don't have dollars in Canada. They have loonies. But they're broke bitches in county. So a $1 is actually only 77 cents, or is it a loony? 77 loonies or 0.77 loonies? Mitchell, I'm looking at you. Don't look away.
Question is,
I have no idea.
What's a loony, bro?
It's a Canadian dollar coin.
A dollar coin. So if it's 0.77 loonies for one dog, it's not dollar dog night. It's 0.70. Okay, so 77-cent promotion night.
Well, they were throwing back the clock. They were celebrating the 50th? Are the Blue Jays 50 years old now? Or are they 60?
You're asking the wrong guy, boss.
But they were celebrating a 50th anniversary of the Blue Jays, and so they were pricing the hot dogs like they would have in 1976.
I like that. So 77-cent dogs, cheaper than a loony. Golly, guess how many fucking dogs they sell? Over 100,000 hot dogs, bro, and that is a record for Dollar Dog Night. To put it in comparison, a few years ago, the Phillies were on some Dollar Dog Night. I mean, they were on a Dollar Dog Night run. They did 4 or 5, and that shit turned into chaos. And we were going crazy about how many dogs they were selling. The Phillies pushed out 43,000 hot dogs at their Dollar Dog Night. Okay, the Blue Jays just doubled that shit. 100,000 dogs set a Blue Jays record. How many dog nights they got this year? I was shocked.
I think they do like 10 a year, right?
Dude, 10 dog nights a year. Unbelievable. Blue Jays, I mean, baseball in Canada right now is hot as fuck. Unfortunately, the team is kind of squandering this with their slow start. But 100,000 dogs, that's nothing to shake a stick at. Gates opened at 5:30, so the dogs were for sale for 288 minutes, averaged out to 335 and a half hot dogs per minute. Did you do that research yourself, Mitchell? Did you do that math?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, whoever did that, that's some impressive math because that is a cool stat. That is 335 and a half dogs per minute, man. God damn. So they sell 100,000 hot dogs, but the game doesn't go well. All right, there's a massive freak out on the mound. So Kevin Gausman, pitcher for the Blue Jays, balks, right? I wish I had the stat. John Boy did a great breakdown of this balk. So respect to Jimmy over there at Jimmy Media. But let me pull up the video so I can. I'm on last week's notes, guys.
So I have the video.
Put up the video for me real quick. So if you see these, the Gausman does this thing where he taps his toe and he's fidgety with his front leg. And, you know, the rule with the balk is you got to come to a complete stop before you throw the pitch. So Gausman, he does this fucking thing with his front foot where he's tapping his toe. He is not stopped. He's fluid. And I don't know the logic behind this because I'm not a pitching guru per se, but you see a lot of guys in MLB doing this now. They're just twitching their front, and look at Marlins man in the back not paying attention. That is a bad look for Marlins man, but respect to Marlins man. So Gausman does not come completely set according to the umpire. Umpire stops the game, and John Schneider comes out, and he has a problem with this. And his problem with this is that Gausman basically does this every pitch. Now, granted, me growing up playing ball, any umpire would call this 10 times out of 10. However, I guess there's some leeway with the major league guys, but, you know, Gausman does this a lot. You got to come to a complete stop. He doesn't come to a complete stop. John Schneider says, okay, whether he did or not, he does it every fucking time. So if you're going to call it this time, then you got to call it every time. He doesn't call it every time. This is why Jimmy did a great job, Mr. John Boy Media. He broke it down, and he did all the comparisons. He did not come to a complete stop. And if you look at his other pitches, he usually pauses a little longer, you know? So he didn't come to a complete stop. John Snyder says he did come to a complete stop. He freaks out at him, and I haven't seen a freak out this good in... I can't remember a freak out this good, but this guy just turns a color of red you don't normally see. I mean, we got a before and after picture that we'll put on, but oh my God, red as a tomato, screams in his fucking face, gets right into it, says, he even bumps the hat, which is the umpire has a problem with it, because if you're going to bump the umpire's hat, you know, that's a little disrespectful, man. You don't touch another man's hat. You don't touch his truck. You don't touch his dip. You don't touch his hat. I mean, everyone knows this, even Canadians. So John Snyder freaks out on his ass, and it goes to show the Blue Jays are just having a tough season. That game doesn't end well. They end up losing that game as well. Do you have the final score? It was 4-1, right?
14?
No, that was the first game.
Oh, the second.
Second game, they lost 4-1, and so they lose the first two games to the Dodgers in the World Series matchup. Game 3, they got Shohei going against Shohei on the mound.
Hold on, Jack. I'm gonna show the notes before and after for Schneider.
Oh, yeah, the Schneiders, if we had a color palette out here, it would be really cool.
While we're on the topic of hot dogs, this is for the Filipino listeners. He's the shade of a tender juicy. Like, this is just incredibly red.
So break that down for Mitchell. What's a tender juicy?
So in the Philippines, they have a hot dog brand called Tender Juicy, and those hot dogs are like the reddest thing. They're like the shade of your chair, and John Schneider's face.
A red hot dog.
A red hot dog. When you cook them and you like put them on like a paper towel, the paper towel was like dyed red.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Sounds healthy.
A red hot dog. I like my dogs a little charred. You know those people who put the dogs in a microwave and then just eat that shit?
Yeah, you're not cool with a microwave dog?
You need to go to prison for that.
Who has time to boil a dog every time?
Put it on the fucking stove, my man.
This is the shade of a Tender Juicy.
Dude, if you microwave a hot dog, oh my god,
what the fuck?
That's a red dog.
I'm not putting that in my body.
And pure foods. So yeah, let's get those sent into the studio. It looks like you can just eat those out of the bag, Mitch. No, I mean technically you can eat hot dogs out the bag. You don't need to eat them up. That's amazing. It's an amazing food. It was an amazing technological advancement when it came out, I'm sure, but that is a red hot dog. But Shohei Ohtani, he pitches game 3. And this is the game they lose. Shohei Ohtani goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run, 0 earned runs. So he keeps the streak alive. 4 hits, 1 walk. Shohei did not have his best stuff, was wild. Only 2 Ks, but doesn't give up a earned run. Ties Ichiro Suzuki's record at the same time with longest on-base streak by a Japanese-born player. So Shohei Ohtani's reached base right now 46 games in a row. That is the longest active streak, while simultaneously having the longest active streak of consecutive innings pitched without allowing an earned run. So Shohei Ohtani making the argument that he's the best player in the league right now. Sarcasm. He's probably the best player of all time. This week, he goes 6 innings, 0 earned runs, 7 for 28, 3 home runs this week, 2 leadoff home runs in a row. So that's another streak to watch out for tonight. Can he keep the leadoff home run streak alive? Another little tidbit out of Dodgers land that just the rich get richer. Ohtani this offseason was asked by the front office, what could we do to make you better, Ohtani? We want to make you even better. He goes, maybe some more batting cages. The Dodgers just spent $100 million on batting cages this offseason, apparently. You might be asking, why the fuck does a batting cage cost $100 million?
I was asking that, yeah.
I guess they had to take down some walls, or maybe it's money laundering, or I don't know what it is.
It's $100 million, but 95 to Shohei.
Yeah, that is probably what it is. So $100 million batting cages are paying off. 3 home runs this week for Shohei. They win 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, and then they win 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. Lead the league in average, OPS, and homers. Second in runs and second on base percentage. Andy Pages, this guy who bats like 8th in the lineup usually, is the best hitter in the league right now. Leads the league in hits, RBIs, average, on base, slugging, and OPS. He batted 3rd in the order on Sunday, so they bump his ass up. Pages is batting 3rd, my man. That's a lot of leading the leagues. And then Roki Sasaki leads the league in being dog shit. Kidding. I am kidding. I do respect Roki. Set a career high with 6 strikeouts, which isn't that high, but it is.
When I saw that in the notes, I was like, that's his career high.
Same. I was like, damn. It does feel like Roki, because we talk about him every time he pitches, because he has captured my imagination as, I don't know. I'm in love with Roki and his whole story. Struggles again, 4 innings pitch, 5 walks, man. Only allows 2 runs, so not terrible, but 5 walks. I'm telling you, he's going to get his control down and he's going to be good, but they're sticking with him. Another shaky start for Roki. Doesn't matter too much for the Dodgers, because the Dodgers, as we stand today, best record in baseball, win 2 series against the Rangers and against the Blue Jays. But I just want to roll back to the Blue Jays, because they lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers in a not the best series. They do salvage the last game. Then they lose 2 out of 3 to the Twins. Not really a team you expect the Blue Jays to struggle with too much, but they do. They win game 1. They scored 10 runs. Patrick Corbin is pitching for the Blue Jays. And this is part of the reason why I am concerned to the Blue Jays. You might think it's an overreaction to say that the Blue Jays this early in the season are fucked, but if you look in who they got throwing out there right now, it's not good. Patrick Corbin goes for game 1, gives up 4 runs. Eric Lauer goes game 2, gives up 7 runs. In game 3, Scherzer goes again, gives up 8 runs. So that's the second game in a row that Scherzer can't get out of the 3rd inning. Tough start to the season for Max Scherzer. Do you have like a synopsis? What's Scherzer's ERA right now?
His ERA is 9.58.
9.58, and he's battling with a thumb and a forearm. You know, I'll never give up hope on Scherzer, but he is 41 years old. He's going to have to figure some things out. Twins bat around the lineup back-to-back games against the Blue Jays. And here's the problem with the Blue Jays and why it is concerning, even though you don't want to overreact on a start. And granted, they are 6-9. There are worse starts to a season. This is the defending AL champions who spent the second most in free agency this offseason. 6-9. They're only 2 games back of first place. However, if you look at the injured list, it's not looking good. So Bowden Francis out for the season. Cody Ponce, it was an ACL for him, right? He's out for the season. Jose Barrios hasn't pitched yet, likely making a rehab start this week. Shane Bieber also hasn't pitched yet. He's throwing bullpens, but no timetable for return. And Trey Savage also injured. So that is 5 starting pitchers on the IL. That does not count Scherzer, who's not on the IL, but has already battled an injury. And that's just the pitching. So that is 6 injured pitchers for the Blue Jays this season. And just then, who the fuck is pitching for the Blue Jays? Is my question.
So they have Gosman and Cease still.
Okay, well, they're a fucking deep starting staff right there. I just named 6 pitchers injured, and Gosman and Cease. Cease is having a good year.
Yeah, they
unless I missed one of
Blue
his
Jays
last
came
starts.
out of the gate hot. I think Gosman and Cease went back to back with 12 plus strikeouts. Cease still is doing really well. 2.45 ERA. Gosman 2.08 ERA. It's just that back end of the rotation. Scherzer, when he's on, he's still a really good pitcher. It's just a matter of which injury is nagging him on that particular day. But then, like you were saying, Patrick Corbin, who was the worst pitcher in baseball for, 4 years? He's not a guy you really want to rely on. And then they have Eric Lauer, who was kind of a swing man out of the pen last year for Toronto.
So the back half of that rotation with Patrick Corbin, Eric Lauer, Max Scherzer ain't great. And and this is why I'm saying, is it time to panic for the Blue Jays? Is it time to panic? They're 28th in starting pitching right now and 25th in runs. And the relievers aren't doing that great either. 20th in ERA for their relievers. And that is just their pitching staff, which has been the biggest Achilles heel for them. 28th in starters ERA. What about their freaking lineup? Because George Springer goes down with an injured toe against the Twins. And, you might say it's just a toe, but we saw what happened to Aaron Judge with the toe. This doesn't seem to be as serious. Update could be close to minimum 10 days for George Springer, but George Springer is on the IL. They're thinking he could come back after 10 days. That would be best case scenario. But Alejandro Kirk, he's hurt. He's going to be out for some months. Addison Barger, I don't think has played this year, has he? Or did he?
No,
just
he
go
got
down?
hurt last week.
And he went down with a hamstring?
Let me double check.
The Barger. That's a violent swing, dude. You need a hamstring with that swing.
He went down with an ankle injury.
Happens to the best of us. And Anthony Santander also not playing for the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays, they got some issues early on. You hate to see the injury bug bite, but we saw that take down our Braves 2 years ago coming off a impressive season. Maybe it's happening to the Blue Jays. They just called up Eloy Jimenez. So if you're dipping into guys like Eloy Jimenez, who hasn't played since 2024. And also, don't forget about Tyler Heineman, also dealing with back spasms. So I'm touching the Boo Birds might be coming out for the Blue Jays. Tough start to the season. But maybe Eloy could save them. Are you worried about the Blue Jays, Mitchell?
I'm a little worried about the Blue Jays. With Springer, a toe could mess up your whole swing, I feel like. And then Alejandro Kirk, one of the best catchers in baseball last year. The offense kind of led them to the World Series last season, where they had guys like George Springer have career years. And without Springer, Kirk, a little bit of all the injury. I did the calculations. They're missing 12 WAR from last year on the IL right now.
That's 12 wins that they won't have this year, according to the statisticians, because of injuries And 12 wins is a lot of wins. I mean, if they lost 12, if they had 12 less wins last year, would they even make the playoffs? That's the question everybody's asking. And I'm going to say no, because 94 minus 12 is 82 wins. Now, if you look at the schedule and results for 2025, 84 wins, I mean, fuck.
So the Tigers were the last wild card last year, and they had 87 wins.
The point being, there's a lot of talent on that injured list, and it's very early on the season. Did I even talk about Shane Bieber, who hasn't made a start yet? I did mention Biebs.
You did.
Biebs. But I mean, it's just disappointing because that rotation coming into the season was looking electric. I mean, Jose Barrios, Shane Bieber, I think Francis Tommy John wasn't going to pitch. He went down in spring training.
Savage was a Rookie of the Year candidate.
Yeah, and then you got Savage, the number one prospect in the organization. He's down with a shoulder impingement. That impingement of the shoulder, I think I might be dealing with one of those too. We'll see when I go to physical therapy. But some questions. I'm just going to say that there's some questions. They're not the only struggling team, only team in the AL East to get off to a slow start. The Red Sox, man. The Red Sox, they had an interesting week. We all know the Red Sox had a tough start to the season. I think it was 2-8 to start, worst record in baseball. But Wilson Contreras, man, he might have sparked the boys up. So Wilson Contreras challenges the Brewers to a brawl. This is a guy who eats the tape off his bat, so not a guy you want to fuck with. This guy gets into some hot water on Monday. So Contreras has this long-running beef with, I think, multiple teams, but especially the Brewers, who he does not get along with. He's been hit by the Brewers 1,000 times. In 2021, he got hit on a check swing. The Cubs retaliated by throwing behind Woodruff. So there he goes. We're going to see later Woodruff and Contreras never really got over this. So they threw at Woodruff. Contreras hits a home run in the game. He shushes the crowd and says the Brewers picked the wrong guy to throw at. So this goes back to 2021. Last year, there was more. So Caleb Durbin of the Brewers collides with Contreras at first. Durbin walked it off. Contreras was talking shit to the Brewers dugout. Brewers probably not happy with where Contreras was standing, but running into a brick wall. You watch that clip, you can see why you wouldn't want to fuck with Contreras. He is a sturdy guy. He gets wrecked by Contreras at first base. Next at bat, Jose Quintana hits Contreras. And then if you watch this, these clips are funny because it really just goes to show the kind of guy Contreras is. He's not going to back down from a fight. He gets hit by this guy and picks the ball up, runs around, goes out of his way, and hands it to him. Says later he knows that it wasn't on purpose, that him and Quintana are very close. However, later in that game when he hits a home run, he stares down the Brewers' dugout, shuffles and stares him down over at first base. So Contreras, he's been beefing with them for a while. On Monday, he gets hit by Brandon Woodruff. This is the 24th time he's been hit by a Brewers pitcher. 24 fucking times he's been hit by the Brewers. That's a lot of times. Now, he doesn't get hit by a lot. I don't know where he ranks. What is it, fourth?
I think he's the second most active player when it comes to hit by pitches.
He crowds the plate and he wears pitches on purpose. He's not a, what you would call, what's the word I'm looking for? Pussy? He's not a pussy. He will get hit by a pitch on purpose. 24 times is a lot, though. It's 24 times by the Brewers, and by Woodruff himself, what, 8 times?
I have it here somewhere. But yeah, I think it's something like 8.
Wait, what do you mean he's the second most active player to be hit by pitches?
I mean, he gets hit
He
by
has the second most hit by pitches who is still
For
playing.
an active player. Got it.
So he gets hit on Monday, gets pissed. His brother's on the other team, which adds another wrinkle to it. So it's Contreras versus Contreras. One of the Contreras has to get in the way of the other Contreras because he's sounding off. He starts screaming at the umpires and the Brewers. So Woodruff has hit him 6 times in his career. That was the 6th time he's been hit by Brandon Woodruff. The umpires have to issue warnings. That pisses Contreras off even more. So on the very next play, he slides in hard in second base and spikes David Hamilton. Legal slide, but goes in hard on purpose. Obviously not happy about it. This escalates things even further. After the game, Contreras says, quote, "They always hit me. I'm not trying to hit and say, I'm not trying to hit you. But that gets old. So next time, if they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out. That's a message. Message is clear. He says, I will fuck you up if you try to play me, bro. The Brewers, on the other hand, don't seem scared. Christian Yelich says, we've been through this. It's 9 years for me? It seems like every year. Woodruff says he's trying to play a game and he's trying to get his side fired up. Once I knew what was going on, I wasn't going to let it affect me on the mound. I knew I had a job to do. So the Brewers are saying, motherfucker, you do this every year. Stop playing the tough guy. You ain't going to do shit. They roll out for game 2. Everyone's expecting a fight. Mizorowski's on the mound, strikes him out with 100 and says, fuck you, motherfucker. What does he say? According to Mitchell, he says, let's go, fucko, which I think was a miscalculation. I think he says, let's go, fuck you. Mizorowski fired up. Contreras stares him down, comes back in the 4th, gets a single, then walks his next 2 at bats. So cooler heads prevail, but we were about to see a brawl over in Boston, and we did not. Was it in Boston? No, it was in Milwaukee.
It was in Boston.
It was in Boston. Shipping out to Boston.
Fucko.
Fuck
I kind of
you.
want to play the song now that you've.
Let's go, fucko.
I don't think we can afford that song.
No, it's an expensive song, Mitchell. You want to get sued again? That song's free.
Not quite the same, but
So
What if we played like 2 seconds?
with that we could do it. But I don't even think we have the means for that right now.
I don't think so either.
So no fight, but I will say the Red Sox came in this game, this series 2-8 with the worst record in baseball. Since the fight, 4-1. They win 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, and then 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. So this might have woke the boys up. Okay, Wilson Contreras by himself is really helping out the Red Sox. 836 OPS plus OPS. Second in the team in WAR. Only Wilner Abreu has hit better than him, and Wilner Abreu is a beast. He leads the AL in WAR, according to Baseball Reference. At least he did on Saturday. Gets a standing ovation. This is Contreras. So Contreras, after a series in Boston, riles up the boys, goes back to his former team, the Cardinals. He gets a standing ovation. Very first pitch, gets hit again. So that's the Wilson Contreras experience for you. He gets hit by a lot of pitches. Where's this one? Doesn't have a problem with it. And the Red Sox looking a lot better. So the Red Sox starters this week, Garrett Crochet, 6 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs allowed. Sonny Gray, 6 1/3 innings, 0 runs allowed. Connolly Early, 56th best prospect in baseball. All he's done since coming up in the league has been a beast. He's got a 2.63 ERA through 13 2/3 innings. He goes 4 1/3, gives up 1 run. Then Ranger Suarez, who's had a tough start to the season, he settles down in his 3rd start, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. And Mr. Bayo, Brian Bayo, 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs allowed. He's had a tough, past a year, but he's settled down. So the Red Sox, their starters this week, 29 2/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs allowed. That's a 1.52 ERA. They are in last place still, but only 2 games back. So 2 series in a row for the Red Sox, and they're trending in the right direction after that fight. Gotta tip your cap to Contreras, because that's what the Brewers said. Oh, he's just trying to fire up the guys. Well, yeah, maybe he's right, and maybe it fucking worked. Brewers, on the other hand, this fight put them in the opposite direction. They are 0-5 since Contreras decided to get in their grill. First time since June 2023, they've lost 5 games in a row, and they get swept by the Nationals at home. Ooh. We're in the nation capital ourselves, We got our ears close to the ground on the Nationals. We could feel the team's vibe. They didn't really have a vibe going into the series, but coming out, they're looking a lot better. Swept the Brewers on the road, and Christian Yelich is now injured. That sucks for them. He's going down with a hamstring injury, and Pat Murphy says they expect it to be bad news. Is there an update on that?
I'm checking right now. Last night when I was filling in the notes, didn't see anything. This morning, still nothing.
So nothing on Yelich, but doesn't look good. They're a complete opposite of the Red Sox. A 5.37 ERA this week. They scored 0 runs against Foster Griffin. on the Nationals. In game 1, the Nationals put 3 bunts in the 9th inning, and the Nats they do it all, bro. 3 bunts. The Nats score 3 runs on 3 bunts. Brewers get 0 outs on 3 bunts. James Wood steals home against the Brewers. Gary Sanchez tries to kill his own pitcher with a throw in game 2. One of the funniest errors you'll see. Injures his own pitcher in the first inning. Pitcher stays in the game, but does not bode well for the Brewers, who, like I said, 0-5, gets swept by the Nationals since getting into a fight with the Red Sox. They've lost 5 in a row for the 50th fucking time and fall to the 4th in the NL Central. NL Central, this is the Pirates division. I don't know what the playoff odds right now, but I'm going to give them a 99% chance to make the playoffs. Bold prediction from the BDE analytics department. But the Pirates are America's team right now. The Pirates are buzzing. They got this cone shit going on, and the cone shit, I'm in love with the cones. I saw a cone today in my apartment, almost stole that shit for the Pirates. I said, what would happen if I brought a cone to the podcast? And then I thought, that probably won't add much.
That'd be fun.
If you wore it the whole time?
Cone on the head?
I would have worn it the whole time.
Maybe we get a cone in the background right here. I can see a cone right here.
We can make the whole thing cones.
Yeah, just uploads one, put it on the side.
We're right across from a construction site.
I was about to say, we can steal from the construction site. Easy.
Not so fast, my friend, because stealing cones is a crime. There's a lot of crime going on in Pittsburgh. Everyone in Pittsburgh is wearing cones because of this new cone trend going around. The fans have cones. The fucking people are wearing cone costumes to games. There's a cone in the bullpen. Konnor Griffen, he's wearing a cone. Apparently, there's been a spike in stolen cones in Pittsburgh. They had to release a PSA, the city, to stop people from stealing cones, all because fanatics messed up and accidentally made a cone t-shirt. That is one theory. There's a lot of theories going around with where this cone shit started. According to Jake Magnum, the cone celebration started in Cincinnati. So the Pirates, to start the season, were 6 for 45 with runners in scoring position. They had stranded 40 men on base, an average of 10 men on base a game through their first 5 games of the season. So according to Jake Magnum, quote, we had a lot of traffic on the bases early. We just haven't directed them home. We need a traffic cone to make sure they got home. Beautifully said. So the traffic cones are to get people home. Because when you're on the road, you see a cone, you go, I got to go this way to get home. Follow the cone if you want to go home.
That's how I get home. I follow cones. From wherever I am to wherever I'm going.
Come on, man. Follow the cones. Ever since they bring out the cone, and where they go, what do? They go 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, including a home run. They end up winning 8-3. Ever since then, they've been bringing the cone everywhere. And it's bode very well for them. Now, where the fuck does the cone come from? Now, he says this about directing people home, but the real cone origin comes because Fanatics fucked up again. Fanatics, who's always fucking shit up. They randomly started selling Pirates t-shirts that said, quote, hoist the cone before the season, and no one knew what that meant. So everyone's seeing these shirts, hoist the cone. What is cones? It's likely that they misprinted these shirts. They were supposed to say hoist the colors, which is a reference to Pirates, if you're a fan of Pirates. Instead, they say hoist the cone. And ever since then, they've just been rocking with the cone. And according to the parking people at the Pirates PNC Park, 25 cones were stolen on opening day. And they say, quote, they're costly to replace. So they're worried about the cone prices. Cone supply and demand. Cone prices are going through the roof. And the city is losing them. So the county has to post a PSA warning people not to steal the cones. It is illegal to steal traffic cones. Fines start at $50. So just to warn you, if you're thinking about stealing a cone, you better pay for that shit. You got to pay $50 fine plus the cost of a cone. And like I said, cone prices are through the fucking roof right now, dude. Inflation, Iran, fucking tariffs. Cone prices are through the fuck. I don't know if you guys tried to buy a cone recently, but golly. Multiple Pirate fans were chased down and forced to return cones during opening day. So the cone stuff is getting serious. But it's working out. I guess the cost is worth it because since the cone shit, they're 8-3. They have the best record in baseball. This is on Saturday. They have the best team ERA in baseball and are in first place, all because of the cone, man. So tip your cap to the cone. The Pirates this week, they lose 2-3 to the Padres, and then win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. So they go 500, stay in first place, which is pretty good. 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, their division rival, is a great series outcome. However, it's a little disappointing because they were 1 run away from sweeping the Cubs. And if you watch this game, they really should have swept the Cubs. They had a 5-run lead in the 3rd inning. Brandon Lau hit 2 home runs in the first 3 innings, including a grand salami. Usually that means you win the game, but they don't. Bubba Chandler ends up giving up 2 bombs himself. 5 home runs in total in this game. The wind was blowing. That's my impression of Wrigley Field on Sunday afternoon. Golly. So 5 home runs. In the 8th, the Pirates make 2 throwing errors in 1 play that allows the game-tying run to score. End up losing on a Carson Kelly walk-off. So they win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, but they could have swept them. The biggest, performer for the Pirates right now is O'Neal Cruz. So O'Neal Cruz on Saturday, or maybe Friday, he was 4 for 4 with 3 stolen bases, and it was like the 6th inning. So he's the first Pirate with that many hits and steals in a game since Matt Lawton, which was 2005. The last player to do this was Ellie De La Cruz, but 4 for 4 was 3 stolen bases. Jeez the wheeze, O'Neal Cruz. A cruise missile.
Jeez the wheeze.
Jeez the wheeze. Cruise missiles everywhere, baby. So since getting benched the second game of the season, he's batting .358. He's slugging .698 with a 1,122 OPS, 6 stolen bases, and 5 home runs for Cruz, who I think we owe you an apology. We're about to throw him. We're going to have him walk the plank after the second game of the season, Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Pirates.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty solid. I saw you were about to say something else, and the walk the plank came last.
No, I was just trying to find it in my brain. Sometimes I gotta dig for things. I didn't take my ashwagandha this morning or my creatine. I'm fucking around. I check my creatine every morning. I take my creatine. It's good for your brain health and for your muscles.
It is. Yeah.
Speaking of muscles, Konnor Griffen. I'm not ready to go to Griffin yet. I'm going to stay on the Pirates. 3rd best starters ERA this year so far, and that's with Paul Skeens, who has a 5.25 ERA. Paul Skeens is the worst starter on the staff right now, according to his ERA. Granted, that is literally just because of 2 misplays by Mr. O'Neal Cruz. Hate to bring up old shit, Cruz, but you did fuck up Paul Skeens' ERA so far this season. He had a good 3rd start, 6 1/3 innings, gives up 1 run on a homer against the Padres. So that just goes to show how great this starting staff is. Everyone was sucking them off going into the season, and they are the 3rd best starter staff ERA with the Paul Skeens 5.25. So if it wasn't for that first inning, they'd probably be number 1. But I don't know, our Braves pretty good too. We'll get to that later. But Konnor Griffen, little kid over there, 19 years old, just a little squirt, just signed the largest contract in Pirates history. 9 years, $140 million for a guy who played 5 MLB games. So pretty good. Pretty good for Konnor Griffen. He's a rich man. And he ain't even a man. He's just a little kid, 19. They grow up so fast, man. So in MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL history, Konnor Griffen is the only player to sign a 9-figure contract as a teenager. And then after this, Paul Skeens makes a quote that kind of interests some people. He says, quote, "He's going to be the face of the Pirates for a long time." And this got like 4,000 million likes on Twitter because it's like, well, why aren't you going to be the face of the Pirates, Paul Skeens? Are you expecting to leave? And the answer to that is yes. There's no way Paul Skeens stays to the Pirates once he gets to free agency. But until then, watch out for the Pirates. So Konnor Griffen, hate to be a bitch, but terrible start to a career. Oh, my God. Through 10 games, 407 OPS. Are we overreacting by calling him a bust?
His slash line...
I guess no. The answer is not no. It's not overreaction. Konnor Griffen is a bust.
Reminds me a lot of A-Rod when he came up as an 18-year-old, actually.
Okay.
A-Rod also had a 445 OPS.
So you're saying Konnor Griffen's on steroids?
First, I mean, everyone was saying that.
So you're saying Konnor Griffen's cheating
the
on
comparison for Konnor Griffen was A-Rod.
Okay.
Before he was coming up. But A-Rod apparently was clean until he went to Texas.
Okay, so we're expecting him to get traded
to Texas.
to Texas.
And he signs like a $300 million contract. Gets traded to the Yankees 2 years in. But Griffin has a 407 OPS in these first, how many games is it now? 7, 8. A-Rod in his first 17 games had a 445 OPS. A-Rod got sent down
Ooh.
after his debut. And then it took him until 1996 to really get going. But definitely not worried about Konnor Griffen. He's 19.
He's 19 and he's only played in 7 games. So Konnor Griffen, 9 games. But congratulations to him on becoming a rich man. My only advice to him is to invest. Mutual funds, crypto, NFTs, stuff like that.
Is he durable? Like any high school injury or anything?
Well, let's call his high school real quick. Coach, what do you got on Konnor Griffen's injury history? Oh, he had missed 4 games. And
I'm sorry, are you implying that there's no way you'd be able to find out this information?
well, I know he did have some injuries in the minor leagues last year, but he's only played 1 minor league season. I don't know if he. So he does have an injury history.
I think his draft stock fell in 2024 because of some injury stuff.
All right, Jack's on to something. Jack smelled that out from a while away.
I just think it's a lot of time to be playing at the highest level. It's so much room for injury.
I mean, any long-term contract has its risks, right? Like if you sign Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year contract and he gets injured in year 2, it's not actually a bad process.
Right. And
Shohei Ohtani
pitchers
is
gonna get
the
hurt.
greatest player of my generation. It's just bad luck.
Of our generation, dude.
At a bare minimum.
Everybody's generation. He's the best player of all time. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, it's the Cubs division right now. The Cubs, it's the Pirates division right now. It was the Cubs division. Not anymore. Okay, the Cubs right now, Cubs are in last place. And, it is early and it is a smorgasbord. If you look at the standings.
Oh, come on, Jack. Of all the words, no one knows how to say that.
Smorgasbord. Wait, now he's fucking me up. Smorgasbord.
Listen, you look at that division and you look at the standings and say, this is a smorgasbord. Because you got their Cubs in last place, but 7 and 8, 1 game below 500, 2 games back. So it's not like they are off a crazy bad start. They actually have a 10-run plus run differential this early in the season. So, I don't want to poo-poo on the Cubs too much, but they are in last place. They go 3-3 this week. They lose 2 out of 3, or they win 2 out of 3 against Jack's Rays. So you shut the fuck up over there.
Smorgasbord is
killing
killing me.
You're just mad. You're mad because your Rays lost 2 out of 3 to the Cubbies, man. Come on. And then they lose 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. So, like I say, 3-3, staying at 500. Shota Imanaga, though, 9 Ks, 0 hits allowed against the Pirates on Friday. And that is a very welcoming sight because if you remember Imanaga, who's pretty much dominated if you look at his full seasons so far, which is 2 full seasons. However, last year, 3.73 ERA last year on the season is a little misleading because he was dealing with injuries. And at the end of the season, the playoffs, he wasn't even a starter. So that's why he didn't pitch in the WBC because the Cubs were like, we need to figure this out, Shota. You're falling off a cliff. But early in the season, very well done. 2.81 ERA. And like I said, 9 Ks, 0 hits allowed against the Pirates. That is a bright spot. Also, Edward Cabrera, their offseason acquisition, another bright spot. He's got a 1.62 ERA. They got the 6th best starting staff in the league so far. It's really the offense that's struggling in PCA in general. In particular. It's the opposite of general. Because general is like more like a blanket term.
Yeah.
Particular, something we're trying to get into the weeds. Let's be specific here. So we're talking about specifically PCA. 513 OPS, not great. Michael Busch also not great. So I'd really like to see the Cubs get that offense up. Now, I will say this could be a cold situation. It's cold in April in Chicago. The winds are blowing. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves and call the Cubs a last place team because their offense started a little slow. Okay. Remember, in the summer of Sammy Slammy, Slam and Sammy in 98. If you remember correctly, this guy goes and gets in the home run race with Mark McGwire. Look at his April stats. Not great. He said it himself. If it's cold, especially for those Dominican guys, they're not going to hit too good. PCA, not a Dominican guy. He's a white guy, but he's from California. What is in California?
Sun.
The sun. Sunny California. Chicago, less sunny, more windy, more cold. So PCA, he'll be back. Even though last year he got hot. He was hot in the beginning. So
In the cold.
there's some flaws in the logic here, but just trust me. It's because it's cold. So the Cubs are in last place, and the Reds are right above them in fourth place. Now, the Reds, sorry, I take that back. Like I said, my apologies. It is a smorgasbord, okay, in the NL Central, because all these teams are basically even. But the Reds are actually 9-7, a half game back of the Pirates. The Reds, though, lost 4 out of 5 this week. They split a series against the Marlins, 4-game series, and lose 2 out of 3 against the Angels. And the problem with the Reds this week was their pitching staff. So, which is surprising because the pitching staff is amazing. I've said it 100 times already this season. I love the starting staff. The offense is typically the problem. With the offense wasn't great this week either. Sal Stewart's a beast. He's got a 1,035 OPS, and Ali De La Cruz is heating up. He's got a 924 OPS, but other than that, no one on the team has an OPS over 664. So not great for the Reds offense. But the reason why they lose 4 out of 5 is because the starters. So they got the 26th worst offense in baseball and the 27th worst starting ERA in baseball. That's on the year. So they're 9-7 with the 26th worst offense and the 27th worst starters ERA. That is crazy. But I really think that's just because the starters ERA is very skewed because this week was just that bad. So Brady Singer gives up 5 earned runs and 10 hits in just 2 2/3 against the Marlins. Then Rhett Lauder gives up 4 earned runs, only strikes out 2 against the Marlins. Then Andrew Abbott gives up 7 earned runs against the Angels. Brandon Williamson gives up 3 earned runs and walks 6 batters against the Angels. And Chase Burns gives up 5 earned runs, 2 bombs, only strikes out 2 in 5 1/3 against the Angels. 2 strikeouts for Chase Burns. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. Guy's electric. So the starters this week, 7.24 ERA, and that's what happens. They lose 4 out of 5 and fall to 9-7. And that is the tail of the tape for them. Going into Thursday, though, the NL Central, the smorgasbord, currently has more teams with a winning record than the entire American League. Let that sink in. That is the definition of a smorgasbord. That's 4 teams with a winning record right now. And they're all pretty even. And there's one team we didn't get to in the NL Central, but we'll get to them later. And that is the St. Louis Cardinals. In the meantime, let's talk about the Rockies because they got some shit going on in Rockies. Colorado is interesting to watch this year. Most interesting thing is the hundreds of guys with no shirts in the upper deck.
Yes.
It'd be better if there was a couple of chicks up there. Am I right, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys only?
Sexuality doesn't exist.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some more guys with no shirts up in here, man.
Add that to the backdrop.
Yeah. So what happened in Colorado on Wednesday, a small group multiplied throughout the game. A couple guys took their shirts off, as we do, in a sunny day in Denver. When you get a nice sunny day in April in Denver, you take your fucking shirt off, man. All right? It's been a cold winter. So a couple rows of bare-chested fans started chanting, "Take it off." Then they began chanting, "One of us," because they just started multiplying. More and more shirtless guys just started showing up. And turns out there's over 100 shirtless spectators up there cheering on their Rockies, who complete a 3-game sweep of the Houston Astros. And you may be thinking, what the fuck? And you'd be right, because the Astros never get swept by the Rockies because no one ever gets swept by the Rockies. The Rockies just swept the Astros. They've won 4 straight games, surged back to 500 on the season with a 6-6 record. This was after their Wednesday game. So the Rockies just won 4 in a row. That's the first time they'd done that since 2022. I'm sorry, the Rockies were 500 for the first time since 2022. That is 3 seasons without a 500 record, but they accomplished that. Now they're starting talking playoffs. Mickey Moniak comes out saying he would cut off his finger to make the playoffs with the Rockies. That's intense. Mickey, how you going to play in the playoffs without a fucking finger, bro? But you got to respect it. So the Rockies, they sweep. They're looking better. Longest active streak in baseball. Midway through the week, Rockies are hot. We're getting excited. Unfortunately, they go to San Diego and they get swept by the Padres. So they erase that 4-game streak, lose 4 games. The 500 ball ain't terrible for the Rockies. So you still got to say, pretty good. Not bad. Mickey Moniak, like I said, he'd cut his finger off. He might not need to because he's got a 1,113 OPS. Tomoyuki Saganu, bro. This was the big money ball play for the Rockies. They're gonna take the guy who's given up the most home runs in MLB and they're gonna put him in the park where it's the easiest to get up a home run, see what happens. And it's actually worked out so far. So he's given up a lot of home runs, 2.2 home runs per 9 innings, which is very bad, but has kept a 2.16 ERA. He's got a .78 WHIP, but a 5.34 FIP. So the WHIP says it's legit, not giving up any hits or walks, but the FIP is saying this is not going to last because he doesn't strike anybody out, basically. However, 2.16 ERA, love it for Tomoyuki. And I love it for the Rockies. However, they did get swept by the Padres. It would be a lot more exciting if they didn't fuck that up. Some close games, though, for the Padres, I will say. So the Padres had a great week, too. The Padres beat the Pirates, right? 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. Then they sweep the Rockies. Of course, Xander Bogaerts walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 12th. That's what I want to add to the soundboard. And I don't think we're going to be able to play the sound right now, but the fucking call we had on that, they go ape shit for the Padres. Can we get sound, Mitchell?
Yeah, Mitch can hold his mic to his laptop.
Okay, that might not be worth it, but we'll see. Bogey goes boom in San Diego, but fuck the Rockies at home. And then what happens the very next day? We got another call, Mitchell. Cue that shit up. Sorry for cursing. But when the Slam Diego's slamming, you got to fucking say a couple.
Hell of a voice to still be able to do that the second day.
I know, right? I mean,
Slam Diego. That's intense. That fires me up.
Orsello, bro, one of the best in the game. I love it, man.
Whenever I watch Padres games, I'm like, I've got to get the Padres feed on.
Yeah.
If it's not the Padres feed, I've got the first thing I have to do is switch it over.
They get hype. Back-to-back walk-offs. Back-to-back walk-off home runs. That is 7 runs worth of walk-off home runs in 2 days. I want to call Sarah Langs and ask her if that's ever happened in MLB history because that is a lot of fucking walk-off home runs. I mean, you don't usually see a walk-off grand slam. You usually don't see that followed up by a walk-off 3-run blast. But you saw it there. So the Padres come alive. 28 runs in 4 games against the Rock Show for the Padres. Padres only have 3 everyday players who are above league average hitters, which is not good. But they've won 5 in a row, 8 of their last 9. They are 10-6 now, second place in the NL West. They're coming alive. What is their offense ranked right now after that amazing weekend of offense?
So the Padres are now 7th in runs,
7th in runs,
8th in homers, 11th in OPS.
Love it. And this was out with Tatis. So Tatis has had a tough season so far, but Mitchell put this in here. This blew my fucking mind. So Tatis, going into Friday, 100th percentile in hard hit percentage. So nobody's hitting the ball harder than the guy. 93rd percentile for average exit velocity. Again, very few people are hitting it harder than him. And 90th percentile for barrel percentage, but he didn't have a single home run. Now, barrel percentage is like, you need a high launch angle for that, right?
So barrels have to have a 500, I think a minimum 500 batting average and or 1500 expected slugging. It's basically if you hit a barrel, it's going for an extra base hit like 75, 80% of the time.
Yeah, but isn't launch angle?
Launch angle is a key factor because
Yeah, so you need launch angle to have a barrel percentage, and if you have a high barrel percentage, that basically it's like to have 90th percentile in barrel percentage and not have a home run is like,
it is a range because if you hit a ball like 130 miles an hour at 10 degrees, it's probably going to be an extra base hit. But if you hit a ball 100 miles an hour at 25 degrees, it's still going to probably get out of.
I see. So it's factored. It's like a ratio between the launch angle and the exit velocity. Either way, so no home runs for Tatis despite hitting the ball hard as fuck. He's batting .228 with a .298 slugging and a .612 OPS for Tatis, who's just really getting unlucky. Played second base this weekend, which is interesting. Back on the infield for Tatis. The guy can do it all. I like that.
It was weird because he hasn't played infield full time since before his PED suspension. But apparently he continues to take grounders all the time. And so the Padres were like, may as well just put you at second base.
As a middle infielder myself, I know if you could play short, which Tatis did, I know he made a lot of errors, he could play second base. So I like that move for the Padres. Put Tatis in there, man. Tatis will do it all.
Tatis, the second baseman, had a very good weekend, though.
What do you mean by that? Let's hear that.
5 hits.
5 hits.
After saying the baseball gods hate him, they moved him to second. Suddenly, baseball gods on his side.
Maybe he made a sacrifice. Love it. Merrill Kelly also struggling. 193 batting average with a 270 on-base percentage.
Jackson Merrill.
Sorry, Jackson Merrill. What did I say?
Merrill Kelly.
Merrill Kelly. That is a pitcher.
He also, if he had the bat, would not do well.
That's true. But the real story, I mean, the player who's really fucking everyone up the ass for the Padres. Sorry for cursing. I didn't mean to curse there, but I will say there is no other word to describe Mason Miller other than fucking people up the ass with straight up fastballs, man. And I will not curse for the rest of the episode. He struck out 11 batters in a row. Have you ever done that, Mitchell?
No, I have not.
Then don't even talk. Dude.
Fucko.
Yeah. 11 straight batters striking a strikeout for Mason Miller. So Mason Miller has struck out 17 of the last 18 batters he's faced.
Have you ever done that, Joey?
No. So I'll shut the fuck up. 17 batters in 18 batters faced. On Wednesday, he struck out 2 batters in 1 inning, and his strikeout percentage went down. He's given up 1 hit all year. He struck out a batter going 103.4 miles per hour, so he's throwing gas. Okay, his average fastball this year, 101.9 miles per hour. He's averaging 102 miles per hour on his fastball. You want to know his K per 9? 24.75 Ks per 9. Why don't they make him a starter? I mean, 24 strikeouts a game. You can't
It's
lose.
like an automatic perfect game, isn't it?
That's a record, Mitch. 24.75 K per 9. He struck out 91.7% of the batters he's faced this year. His strikeout percentage is 91.7. I think that'd be a record, no?
Easily.
Quick look it up real quick. ChatGPT that shit, dude. Yep, that would be a record. 91.7% strikeout percentage. If you include the 2025 postseason, the 2026 World Baseball Classic, Mason Miller has thrown 32 1/3 straight scoreless innings, 25 1/3 innings in a row without giving up a run. That is the updated version after whatever. I don't know. One of those is right. Just trust us.
We kept having to change the stats because he would come in every game and then he would strike out everyone out. And so we'd have to go back in and change whatever we'd already done.
You know what?
It kept getting better.
And I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? When you're watching history, that's just what we got to do. Currently, he's first in strikeouts, first in strikeout percentage, best whip, best ERA, and leads the league in WAR amongst relievers. So he is the best reliever in baseball. And here's the most crazy stat. Mason Miller this season has 19 strikeouts. Mason Miller this season has thrown 20 balls. So he has thrown 1 ball more than strikeouts. He's thrown 20 balls 20 times he's thrown a pitch and umpire said, that's out of the zone. And then 19 times strikeout. Let that sink in.
So the record for strikeout rate, minimum 50 innings pitched, so a full season of a reliever basically, is 41.1%. Right now, Mason Miller's K rate is 79.
So he's 50% better than the average?
So if he
No,
wanted to
he's
break
well-
the record, he basically can just take it easy for the next 35, 40 innings.
Well, thank God he didn't pitch in the WBC final. So now he has all this extra energy.
That extra inning probably would have killed him, you know?
Yeah. So good thing the Padres are happy. They've won 5 in a row, man. Congrats to the Padres. Like that. We need some competition in the NL West. We don't want the Dodgers to just run away with it too easily.
Did you see the picture he shared when he pitched on PNC on the mound in PNC in 2015 when he was a high schooler?
I did see that.
So this guy, Jack, do you know what Mason Miller looks like now?
More or less, yeah. I mean, he's a pretty big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, this was him 10 years ago as like a senior in high school. He's just 6'5", 140 pounds.
He looks like he's scared of his own power.
He didn't have any power.
That could be scary.
I bet
He was throwing like 82.
Was he? Well, he was a late bloomer, wasn't he?
He found out he was diabetic, and then he was like, "Oh, no wonder I can't gain any weight." And then he gained a bunch of weight and started throwing 105.
So is he not diabetic anymore? How do you gain weight? Sounds like an
Insulin.
excuse to me. Insulin. The fuck? Just kidding. Honestly, sorry for cursing. But yeah, I know there's some people watching. I know we have some diabetic listeners, man. And God, I used to be so jealous when diabetic kids in school got to eat snacks all day, though.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who needs your feet?
So he's doing this with diabetes, and makes it even more impressive. But let's move on. Unless you guys have anything else on diabetes, throw it in real quick.
I think we have something on durability and money. No? Do we have
I don't know what you're talking about.
a Ridge wallet, maybe?
We do got a Ridge Wallet brand deal ad.
Durability and money.
Durability and money.
I wanted to talk about it during the Konnor Griffen thing, but we didn't have time.
Why during the Konnor Griffen thing?
He's got a lot of money. He needs a place to put his money.
He does need a Ridge Wallet.
I need a few of them bad boys.
You don't have a Ridge Wallet?
And now that he's going to be with the Pirates for a long time, he can just go in and get a Pirates Ridge wallet.
They got Pirates Ridge Wallets?
Yeah, I think they can customize all kinds of ways.
Well, tell me more.
Here, pull it up, Mitch. Show us the Pirates one.
So officially licensed MLB wallets from Ridge Wallet. Oh, I gotta unlock my wallet offer. Let's see, which box should I choose? 1, 2, or 3?
Ooh,
Middle.
this is fun.
30?
30% back?
Fuck, dude.
And
That's
so-
better than our deal. We only get 10% off.
Oh, that's tough.
Damn.
So if Konnor Griffen really wanted to rep Pittsburgh, he can go in, get a Ridge wallet. For him, it's like what? What's the fraction on this? 1/100th, a 1,000th of the contract he just signed.
You're asking the wrong people.
Yeah. Do the math, guys. Anyway. All right, so that's it for the Ridge Wallet. So as you can see, I got my Ridge Wallet right here. I keep that thing on me, motherfucker. I got my cash in there. You got cash and you got cards. Don't look at my cards, but I got cards in there. I got an ID. I got this thing in here that you can open. Can opener fits in your wallet. Pretty cool stuff in my wallet. Dues. I've been using this shit for probably when did we start our first brand deal with them? Because they sent me one and I never went back.
This was last season, halfway through, maybe?
Yeah, halfway through June, July. He threw it across the room, held together.
That's right.
Yeah, blew through the fucking wall, hit another guy.
If you're not careful, yeah. I mean, if you want to fuck someone up, you can use this Ridge Wallet because this shit is dirt.
But that is not what it's used for.
No, don't use it. Use it for currency.
For good.
It's not like a giant crusty leather brick wallet that you have in your pocket, probably sitting at home like an idiot, hurting your ass because it's so massive, and you have this big bulging thing in your pocket because you know what? You think you're too cool for a Ridge, but it's over. Get the freaking Ridge. It's unique, slim, modern design, holds up to 12 cards plus cash, and I can attest to that. I got a bunch of cards in here. Maybe not 12, but I'm getting close, and they all fit nicely. You can get them out nice and easy. You can put your cash in there. You can make payments. You can do everything you want. Made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. Over 50 colors and styles to choose from. As you can see, mine, I would say this is like a nice teal orange. Got some teal
accents.
Teal with an orange trim. Not too freaking shabby over here with the Ridge wallet. All Ridge wallets have a lifetime warranty. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever need to buy. And it gives you peace of mind because it has RFID blocking technology, okay? So there's these things these people are doing. They're digital pickpocketers. They're running through your wallets with digital fucking, I don't know what it is, Bluetooth. They got Bluetooth now that can steal your information, but you got the nice titanium shit going in here. It blocks it, so you're safer. Over 100,000 5-star reviews, baby. Also, you can get a Ridge tracker card in your wallet, so if you lose it, you can find it, and if someone steals it, you can get a gun and kill them.
No.
Because you know where they're at all times.
But obviously he wouldn't do that, and Ridge wouldn't support that.
No, Ridge
Don't
says,
need a gun when you got a Ridge wallet.
It says right here,
Right.
Ridge wallet says right here, do not call the police. That's what you got to do. Call the police. It's not just about wallets. They also make power banks, key cases, suitcases, and rings. I have one of those too, dude. I got all my keys in a Ridge key holder. So then you got this, and you can go, sure. And then you got your keys here, and they're way easier to get out. You don't have to fumble with them. And it's swag. So be like me and get a freaking Ridge wallet, baby. For a limited time, our listeners can get 10% off at Ridge using code PDE at checkout. Just head to ridge.com and use code PDE, and you're all set. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Tell them PDE and support the podcast and go to ridgewallet.com. Use code PDE and get 10% off your Ridge wallet right now. Buy it for a friend. Buy it for your dad. Buy it for your mom, man. Give it, donate it. Do whatever you want, but you get 10% off. All right, y'all. Let's move on, man, to something a little less durable. And that would be the Ichiro statue, which was defaced.
Hell of a segue.
Amongst, right on the outset, the thing was defaced. It's unbelievable, bro. So Ichiro was inducted to the Hall of Fame last summer. He got his number retired, I think this year or maybe last year, but either way, they unveil an Ichiro statue. They rip the curtain off it, and it breaks the freaking statue, dude. This is a bronze statue. I don't know how that happens, how a curtain can just rip the bat, but that bat was hard as fuck, and now it's limp.
Listen, it happens to all of us, and it's totally normal.
Listen.
And there's things you can do to get rid of that problem for you. And I just think we shouldn't shame Ichiro for having a limp bat.
Get Ichiro a Viagra, bro.
How heavy was that fucking curtain?
I don't know, but Ken Griffey Jr. breaks the statue. And if you see, the sculptor was there to watch it, and they have a picture of this guy witnessing his statue being broken in half, and he is in pure and utter shock. This man, who probably spent years, months, maybe longer than a year, creating this bronze statue that just gets torn apart. Ichiro makes a funny joke right off the bat, riffs out a funny ass joke. He goes, I didn't think Mariano would come out here and break the bat, referring to Mariano Rivera, who breaks a lot of bats. But I think that was a flex because you look at Ichiro's career stats, he's 5 for 13 with a home run and 2 RBIs off Mariano. So I think that's just him being like, oh, Mariano Rivera, he's such a good pitcher. He owned Mariano Rivera. Just goes to show how beast Ichiro Suzuki is.
I got the photo of the sculptor.
Yeah.
I see you had linked it. Man, this poor dude.
You don't need John Boy for this. Fuck.
I don't think he said anything. I think he's just pure utter shock. I think he's about to cry.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I will say the statue is cool looking. Like it's so much better than so many of the statues that people be putting up of people.
Oh yeah, if you look at this guy's portfolio, he is like the king of statues. He makes statues all over the place. A lot of athletes, so he's not like a little bitch who makes bad statues. We've seen some terrible statues being put out. I think the Dwayne Wade one was the most recent example.
If you confirm it, he didn't make that one. I don't think he did.
He did not. I would have known. He did not make that one. He's made a lot of cool statues. So let's give our love and our support to Mr. Lucella, who is a statue making legend. What a sick job that would be. A sculptor?
Yeah, it's pretty
In
dope.
2026, what do? I just sculpt shit out of bronze.
All the sports teams, they need a statue, they come to me.
Yeah.
That's them.
Pay me.
It's just cool to pick a career that was invented, BC, and to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be the Michelangelo.
I think he has a phone.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he probably has a phone. How else are you gonna look up Ichiro's body dimensions?
I like to think that it's like a tailored operation, like they measure him.
Well, I read in the article that he FaceTimed Ichiro multiple times to get the statue right. So he went through long lengths. I love what they use that.
He FaceTimed him to get it right, or just so he could talk to Ichiro?
Right, I know. Like, what do you think, Ichiro? Should I don't know. What would you even ask Ichiro?
Just
There's a billion
screenshotting
pictures of
his face.
Ichiro. Either way, the Mariners, they could use an Ichiro on the squad. I'll tell you that much. Because heading into this series, they lose 5 in a row. 4 of these losses were 1-run losses, which is tough. They had lost 7 out of 8 going into the series versus the Rangers and the Angels. And during that stretch, they were last in average, last in on-base percentage, last in strikeouts, last in OPS, a 471 OPS, not great. Cal Raleigh had a 125 average, Josh Naylor 172 average, Julio Rodriguez 494 OPS. They were last in runs, 16 runs in 8 games. And then they go into this series against the Astros. They scored 23 runs in 3 games. So they go off against the Astros. Friday, they scored 9 runs. All 9 batters in their starting lineup score a run. Saturday, they're down 7-2, end up coming back on a J.P. Crawford walk-off. And Sunday, score 6 more runs. So they sweep the Astros. The Mariners come back and have a great weekend series because it was a tough start to the season for them. So who did they lose? What was their before the Astros? Who did they play?
They got swept by the Rangers.
So they got swept by the Rangers, and that was this week or that was last week? That was on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, they're in a 4-game series with the Astros. It's one of those weird loop around.
Okay, so they're playing today again on Monday.
Right.
So technically not a sweep yet. Going for the sweep this afternoon.
1 p.m. in Seattle.
1 p.m. in Seattle. Whew.
What's that, like 3 p.m.?
4.
That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the time this comes out, that game will probably be in full swing. Pretty cool. So they come alive. Everybody hits well this series except for Raleigh, who's continued to struggle, man.
And Naylor.
Naylor too?
He's got a negative OPS plus, I think.
But how do you do against the Astros?
1 hit.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he in this just against the Astros, he's 1 for 11.
So Randy Arozarena comes alive. Julio Rodriguez comes alive. They got other guys hitting pretty well for them. Brendan Donovan is going off, 973 OPS. Luke Raley is going off at 846 OPS. Dominic Calzone, don't sleep on Calzone. I could use a Calzone right now. I'm a little hungry myself. 126 OPS plus for Calzone. And Cole Young, already a 1.1 WAR for Cole Young. Cole Young, a nice 22-year-old second baseman that nobody's talking about, but he's got a 139 OPS plus. So you look at this lineup, they got a lot of production out of guys you wouldn't expect it out of. It's really the guys who you do expect it out of who are not hitting. I mean, Randy Arozarena is having a great start to the season. He's got a 150 OPS plus, but Rodriguez, Naylor, and Cal Raleigh have not played well. Now, I know Julio did better this weekend, but Raleigh and Josh Naylor not so much. Goes to show that the Mariners offense has sucked, but I would expect them to improve. Because I don't expect Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh to be this bad all season. I don't know about y'all. Pitching staff is still good, though, Mitch.
And they have J.P. Crawford walking like Barry Bonds. He has a 36% walk rate.
Why are they scared to pitch to JP?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he hit a walk-off home run. Wouldn't you be scared? He would have another home run if it wasn't for Mr. Joseph Adell. Same with Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh. So, at least they got the sweep against the Astros. But, I mean, maybe the Astros just suck ass. So, the Astros, probably one of the worst weeks in Astros history. Not in history, but this recent
Past 10 years.
iteration of the Astros. They got swept by the Rockies, then lose 3 in a row to the Mariners. They've lost 7 games in a row for the Astros. Tied for the worst record in baseball right now. The Houston Astros, 6-10. So they've scored the most runs in baseball. So they have the most runs in baseball and have the worst record in baseball. What does that tell you, Mitch?
Worst pitching staff in
That
baseball.
means they've also given up the most runs in baseball. So they've scored the most runs and given up the most runs. What the fuck is going on? Mike Burrow's 5.63 ERA has allowed the most hits in baseball. Lance McCullers Jr. gave up 6 runs in his last start, 5.87 ERA. Tatsui Imai only recorded 1 out on Friday, allowed 3 runs on just 1 hit, walked 4 guys, got pulled in the first inning, has a 7.27 ERA. Imai is dealing with a tired arm, according to The Athletic. Weird injury.
He got put on the IL like 13 minutes ago.
Oh, so that's not good because he is not the only one. Christian Javier, who they were relying on heavily, has a 12.54 ERA, has given up more runs than any pitcher in MLB, and was pulled on Wednesday with a strained shoulder. He is on the 15-day IL. Hunter Brown, who is their ace, he's pitched amazing this year, but he is on the IL with the same injury, a strained shoulder. Their starter on Sunday gets even fucking worse. Cody Bolton leaves in the second inning with injury. So road trip, they go 1-8. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Astros, get swept by the Rockies, are about to get swept by the Mariners, go 1-8 and lose 4 pitchers to injury. 4 pitchers are on the IL for the Astros. Wait, so Hunter Brown, Christian Javier, Tatsui Imai, and then this other guy who I don't know if he's on the IL, but also gets injured. So 4 pitchers down to injury. So they score 47 runs in 8 games, have the 3rd best offense in baseball during that stretch, and go 1-8. Wah, wah, wah. That's a brutal week. Yordan Alvarez, however, he is the shining star of this team of shit stars. Second shit stars. That's a little bit of a paradox, right?
Typical human feces.
That's right. Yordan Alvarez is second in the league in WAR. Second in the league in home runs, second highest slugging percentage. With a 755 slugging percentage, second highest OPS, a 1,256 OPS, leads the league in WAR. However, his team is in last place, worst record in baseball. Is the dynasty over, Mitchell?
I think it is.
It's over.
I think it is, don't you?
I mean, it's only April, man. I don't like to be too mean against the Astros, but I mean, it's going to be hard to come back from all these pitching injuries. It's the same deal with the Blue Jays. They're not going to be the best offense in baseball this year. I can tell you that for a fact. They also got Jeremy Pena on the IL. I'm not really too familiar with his injury, but that's going to hurt, I would guess. Do you know?
Knee.
Knee.
He left Saturday's game with knee tightness, and then they put him on the IL this morning.
Yeah, I don't like to overreact in April, bro. It's not even the second half of April. But how do you overcome all those pitching injuries? It's also, a team that they were getting shit for not doing
Oh.
enough with their pitching going into the season because they let their boy go, Framber Valdez, and they were really relying on our guy Christian Javier, who they paid a shit ton of money after his 2022 season. And Christian Javier, since 2022, not only has he not pitched, but when he's pitched has been very bad. I know he was dealing with a Tommy John situation, but he missed 2 full seasons so far, coming back with a 12.54 ERA and is hurt again. So that is a bleak future for him. And there's a lot of money tied up in that contract, which may be part of the reason why they didn't spend any money on pitching. And now their ace, Hunter Brown, who was a Cy Young candidate, shoulder impingement. To me, that doesn't sound like an injury that you're just going to bounce back from after 10 days.
That's definitely an injury that you, as a team, want to take slowly. Like if the timeline looks like it is a week, you push it back a little more just to make sure that Hunter Brown's shoulder is fine.
Not to mention, bro, Josh Hader also injured for them. So it's like if everything can go wrong, it has gone wrong for the Astros in this streak of 7 straight losses, 8 of their last 9. They went on the road and they got fucked on the road, man. Maybe they come home, they play the Rockies, and they get their shit together, and then the Cardinals. So a nice 6-game stretch to get healthy, hopefully, but it's a lot to overcome. So is the dynasty over? I wouldn't say the dynasty's over, bro, because it's still got a nice lineup and they still got pieces. So maybe the season is looking grim, but you add pitchers, I wouldn't say it's over for the Astros. I think they have a healthy franchise that can withstand a bad season, but I don't think this season, I'm saying it here on April 13th, I don't think it's a playoff team.
You suck.
That is the coldest team in baseball. The hottest team in baseball?
The Athletics, baby.
The fucking Houston Athletics of Anaheim, Sacramento, Las Vegas, formerly known as the Oakland Athletics, are the hottest teams in baseball. They go on the road and have the opposite result. So the team in the AL West, who has been dog shit for the past 5 to 6 years, went on the road and go off. While the team that has been the best team in the AL West 5 or 6 years go on the road and get dog walked. So that goes to show, is this world going to hell? Everything's backwards. That's just what makes baseball interesting. So the Athletics go to New York. They win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. Then they sweep the mighty Mets. It might be time to start calling them the measly Mets because they've been swept by the Athletics. They're doing the fence celebration. This is pretty cool, bro. They got this new celebration where they pretend like they're on Trank. And they just slump in the outfield. And it's pretty funny. I'm dead, bro. Do not sleep on the Athletics. They got Jeffrey Springs, the new acquisition, 1.47 ERA through 3 starts, took a no-hitter against the Yankees into the 7th. Aaron Savali, another acquisition, 1.72 ERA through 3 starts. Love it for Savali. They shut out the Yankees. Next day, they go to New York again. They go to New York to New York. They go from New York to New York, the Bronx to Queens, and they shut out the Mets. So they shut out the Yankees and Mets on back-to-back days. That is the first time in MLB history a team has done that. They sweep the Mets for the first time in franchise history, which is insane. The Athletics have been around for 1,000 years. They sweep the Mets for the first time. So the Mets and Yankees both have lost 5 games in a row. That is the first time that's happened in history. A lot of firsts for the Athletics. The Yankees have lost 5 one-run games this week. Ooh. So the Yankees have lost 5 in a row by a combined 6 runs. So they're losing on the margins. And when you're losing on the margins, maybe it's small ball. Maybe you have the dumbest player on the league in your team. That's what they're calling Jazz Chisholm. They're calling Jazz Chisholm the dumbest player in the league. Mitchell, where do you stand on that? Where do you stand on Jazz Chisholm's IQ? If you had to guess, what do you think his SAT score
Not
is?
the dumbest player in the league.
Who's dumber than Jazz Chisholm?
I have no idea. I put Jazz solidly middle of the line. But
Middle?
would you? Are you about to tell us a story about how he didn't know the rules?
I don't know if he knew the rules or not. But a lot of people are accusing him of not knowing the rules and being bad at pitch comp. Not PitchCom, ABS. So Jazz Chisholm, I don't think he's the dumbest player in the league. I think he's a smart young man. But if you go on Twitter, he's being called the dumbest player in the league because in the bottom of the 10th, it's a tie game. Bases are loaded. This is against Jack's Rays. Ground ball goes to second base. Jazz can't field it, the Yankees lose. So they had this crazy infield alignment where they have 6 infielders. They have basically 2 second basemen. I don't even know how this is legal, but they got 1 second baseman playing in the infield grass and then Jazz Chisholm playing in the dirt. The ball gets by the first second baseman, gets to Jazz Chisholm. The only way Jazz Chisholm can prevent the loss is to turn this into a double play. He tries to catch the ball and then tag the runner and throw it to first. He misses the ball, so he can't tag him. Afterwards, they ask him about the play. He says, quote, I was going to try to tag the runner and just throw it to first. I don't know what the rule is. If I went to first base first, then threw it back to second, is it still an out? Is it a double play? I don't know. Does it not count as an RBI? Kind of something you should know as a starting second baseman in MLB, to be honest. Now, granted, I think that if you actually gave him a test and put the gun to his head, he would know the rule. And probably, like Aaron Boone said after, I think Jazz knows the rule, guys. I just think that he kind of just was misspoke to the media because the media was like, he was embarrassed, he made a bad play. And then, when you fuck up, you don't want to have to answer questions about it, And he had to. And it didn't come off great. So Jazz Chisholm also gets yelled at for pitch location on Sunday. This is another thing. Drew Rasmussen, he's trying to give his players a high IQ move. So why doesn't Jazz get credit for the high IQ move? He's telling the batter where the pitch is going to be. Drew Rasmussen screams at him, then apologizes later. But Jazz Chisholm right now, 179 average, 233 on base percentage, 268 slugging, 501 OPS, and a negative .2 WAR for him. However, quote, it's cold. It's literally all it is. So like I said, cold excuse, not a bad excuse. It could be because it's cold. Jazz from Bahamas. Bahamas is warm.
Well, it's warm, Joey.
Very warm. However, devil's advocate, he just played in the Dome in Tampa Bay, warm weather, inside, 2 for 13. So, tumultuous first start to the season for Jazz. Not playing well. They're calling him dumb. He's got not great ABS challenges, and the Yankees lose 7 of their last 8 games. Sorry, 6 of the last 7. So after winning 7 of their first 8 games, the Yankees have lost 6 of their last 7, and they have fallen from first place. Jack, your Rays, first place right now, man. Tied with the Yankees, but they got the tiebreaker. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident. I still haven't really chosen where my loyalty actually lies as a baseball fan, and I'm a huge baseball fan. I know ball. I think we would all agree with that.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty good as a Tamponian.
Maybe it's just because they're playing inside and they don't get the cold weather effect. So they have an advantage because they don't have the cold weather. Cold weather makes you bad. Rays don't have cold weather, so the Rays are good.
I'm no scientist, but that checks out to me.
There you go. So, like I said, New York teams are taking L's this week. The Mets, even worse. The Mets have lost 5 games in a row. 5 games in a row for the Mets. They came into the week 7-4. They were in first place. Now they're in last place. So life comes at you fast. They get swept by the Athletics. Well, first they lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. Then they get swept by the Athletics. And Francisco Lindor, like Jazz Chisholm, also having a tough year to the start of the year. Also getting low IQ accusations.
Yeah.
If anyone knows about that, it's me. So coming into Sunday, which is interesting because Lindor has always been known as a smart player, but this year he's actually playing like a dumbass. I will be honest. So coming into Sunday, Lindor is batting 167 with a 296 on base percentage and a 61 OPS plus. So terrible. His sprint speed is down 1.2 feet per second, which isn't good. What was the injury that he was dealing with?
His wrist.
So that shouldn't affect his sprint speed. Small sample size, but I don't know. You got to use your arms.
This is like when the thumb affected everything about someone's game. Who was that?
Scherzer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his wrist is making him slower. I don't know. So last week he loses track of outs during the finale on Wednesday. Doesn't turn the double play. Then later gets picked off his first before Juan Soto hits a home run. He gets killed in the media for being an idiot. They come after him. This week he gets caught flat-footed on a ball. He gets fucking doubled off by Nick Kurtz. On Friday he was flat-footed on a turn that led to a failed double play. Then was caught. It's clunky, Mitch.
I'm doing like 30 teams.
Cut the fat, bro. God.
He was caught flat-footed trying to turn a double play. Period.
Yeah, so
Later, he was caught off third base by Nick Kurtz as a runner.
So he doesn't make a double play. That's in the field.
Yes.
So he can't turn a double play in the field because he's not ready for the ball. Then he gets doubled off at third base by Nick Kurtz in a pivotal moment. 2 low IQ plays. And on Saturday, Marcus Semien hits a ground ball. On Saturday, he goes for a ground ball. That's Marcus Semien's ground ball. Should have been a double play or at least a fielder's choice to get out of the inning, but he's not there to cover the base. Long story short, Lindor, uncharacteristically, is making a lot of mistakes. People are speculating, Frank the Tank specifically, that this concussion earlier in the season, potential concussion, he got rocked at home plate earlier in the season. So some people might think that this is making him dumb, which would be insane. I don't know. You believe that? It is weird the amount of mistakes Lindor is making.
He is generally a very smart player. This, like the play that Nick Kurtz made on him on Saturday was one of the dumbest plays I've seen from a player. I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick, but it's like, how do you get caught? First and third, 6th inning, you're down 1 run, and the ground ball to the first baseman, and then you just freeze, and then you get picked off there.
It was a weird play. I mean, his manager defended him, saying it was the right move because it avoids a double play. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't think you ever try to get thrown out,
especially if
on
you're
third.
if you're in runner, you're in third base. But you know what? The manager says it's cool. I guess it's cool. But so Lindor's getting booed already. He's not the only one. Carson Benji gets booed after an error. Francisco Alvarez, he gets booed after he allows a pass ball. Lindor made another error. One of these mental mistakes, he gets booed again. They booed Kodai Senga after he allowed a home run. And this is all in the same game. All these guys are getting booed.
It was apparently the same inning.
Same inning. So, yeah, the Mets fans are not happy. The Mets, like I said, lost 5 in a row. Hurts more because they did it to their old buddy, Jeff McNeil, who had a alleged beef with Lindor. They are arguing in the clubhouse last year. They asked McNeil about it. He said, yes, we did have an argument, but, that's just what brothers do. Brothers fight. They probably hate each other, dude. What do you think they argued about?
It was either like a raccoon or a squirrel. That's what they're saying.
Could have been a raccoon.
I'm going to believe that.
It was a raccoon.
That one of them doesn't know what a raccoon and a squirrel looks like.
Dude, I saw a raccoon at the gas station last week, bro.
He was working there?
Shit, man. I don't know. He could have rabies. It was
Jesus, Joey. You can't say that.
about raccoons.
Yeah, man. They don't all have rabies.
Well, I don't know. He was looking a little brave. Usually you don't see raccoons out during the day. They're at night. So if you see a raccoon out in the day, it's suspicious. And if he's not skittish and he's just kind of walking around a gas station, could be rabies.
Yeah, that actually is kind of sketchy, I think.
Yeah, I stayed away. I would just get my Dunkin' and go.
I love raccoons, though. They got hands.
They secure the trash, man. We need to get a raccoon for our trash.
A raccoon to take our trash.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need these trash, man.
Talk to your boy. Put him in touch with me. Give him my number.
All right. So Jeff McNeil comes in and they sweep the Mets. Craig Kimbrell is also on the Mets now. So Craig Kimbrell, 17th MLB season, 8th team since 2021. He's on the Mets now. He strikes out 2 in his Mets debut. And Tommy Pham is back on the Mets, his 9th team since 2021. Tommy Pham back together. He's joining the Mets family, and they need it. However, there is a potential fucking rift going down because Frank the Tank has already come out publicly going off Pham. Let's read the text from Frank. That's how bad it is, referring to signing Tommy Pham. He went 0 for 90 last year. He is the campaign of MLB. Never been on a team that does not lose 90. Was on the 121 loss White Sox and the 119 loss Rockies last year. I don't remember him being on the Rockies last year. And he was in the World Series in 2023 to dispute some of Frank's claims. However, Frank the Tank is known for being tough on Mets players. And I don't know if Tommy Pham is going to be able to take that.
Bro, Frank, are you fucking suicidal, dude? That's such an insane person to be talking shit about like this. Like,
I mean,
he's going to show up at your house, Frank.
I can see Tommy Pham not really understanding the whole Frank the Tank shtick. And then him replying to a tweet or something, which would be freaking awesome.
Dude, can you imagine, bro? MVP, promotions, Tommy Pham versus Frank the Tank. 6 rounds, 10-second rounds. Chairs are allowed to sit in, not to hit with.
I don't know if they'd sanction that, dude. Frank's so much bigger. It wouldn't be a contest. He'd body slam him.
You think Frank the Tank's got Tommy Pham?
I think Frank the Tank gets it. I think he gets it. So the Mets are down bad. Mets lose 5 in a row. Mets now have fallen in last place behind the Nationals and behind the Marlins. Jackson Marlins, they also didn't have a great week. I mean, they came into this week, I believe, in first place. Not anymore. They split a series against the Reds, and then they got swept by the Tigers, Mitch's Tigers. Ooh, family beef. When the family feud, we all lose.
Who, me and Mitch?
You and Mitch. Because I know you motherfuckers got 5 teams each now. That's how it is, kids these days.
It feels fucked up to bring Mitch into what I got going on.
Well, he's a Tigers fan.
Yeah, he is weirdly a Detroit lover.
I haven't been seeing that hat as much this year. They haven't been playing that great. But they did sweep the Marlins.
Thought about pulling it out this week, but Braves did so well. I had
Braves.
to.
Dude, I wanted to show up in a fucking Athletics hat so bad.
I have been to Detroit more than I've been to Atlanta, though, to be honest.
What's your favorite part about Detroit? The hot dogs?
Little
Right.
Caesars.
They have that other places. Does it come from Detroit originally?
Yeah.
I remember I went to Detroit one time. I went to the hot dog place. It's like going back in time. They have weird bathrooms. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Is it like a diner?
Yeah, it's like a hot dog diner. Hot dogs only. You get mustard, you get ketchup, soda pop. Everyone in there looks like they're from the 40s. Like they're not old, but they look like they're from the 40s, you know? Like you
They
know
got
how
the
like
slick
people
back hair, the little caps, the white.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like more facial structure. Like I feel like, like they're like white immigrants from like,
Oh, they're like casting the staff.
yeah, like they're shipping them in from fucking Italy and Ireland. I don't know. Like I couldn't describe it, but it was like
Do I look like I could work there?
no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I once was cast as an extra on Marvelous Miss Maisel.
How'd you get that?
Did you make it in?
No, I bailed
Why'd you bail?
to do the improv.
Damn, the improv. Pussy. That's why you bombed, bro. You probably didn't do good.
No, I did. I actually have no recollection of how I did, but
Sam, so you took the improv. We should start a BDE comedy show. We should do that.
should we do that?
Yeah, dude. Live. Get Mitch up there closing it out, doing type 5.
Yeah, I don't really know what you mean. Like it's you and I doing stand up, and then Mitch is just like there as well,
Yeah,
like a
dude.
I
mascot.
just hit the button for the applause.
He's just
We can get a live event going. We could do it at the Prov, dude. You know them at the Prov.
they won't approve that.
We could find a
You could just
space.
move the chair, get a little mic, and have
You think
Yeah,
we
we
could
could just do it
stand in the corner.
studio, bro.
Dude, we could do it. No, we'll get way
No,
more
I
people.
never
there.
bring people in here, bro.
We'll get
a live show in here, 5 people. We make the tickets like
Easy.
hard to get.
$400 each.
Very exclusive.
Yeah, we'll give away a couple. Leave some comments in the comments, and then we'll give you free tickets to the Podcast Doesn't Exist comedy extravaganza.
I mean, it's a full smorgasbord of comedians.
Yeah. It's gonna be electric. But Jack to back's Marlins.
Yeah.
They split a series versus the Reds. They sweep the Tigers. Coming into the week, they were 6-3 in first place, but they go 2-6 this week. They fall to 500. So trouble in paradise. And one of the turning points was Sandy Alcantara. So entering the ninth inning on Tuesday, Sandy Alcantara hadn't allowed a single run this season. Amazing start to the season. He has 2 outs. Sorry, he has 1 out in the ninth, so he's 2 outs away from his second straight shutout. It would have been 2 complete game shutouts in his first 3 starts for Mr. Alcantara. Gives up a double to Matt McClain, then walks Ellie De La Cruz. So they're winning 2-0. He's got a runner on second and first. He's got a shutout going. They take him out with 95 pitches. This would have been his second complete game in 3 starts. Like I said, Anthony Bender comes in and allows both those runs to score. So Marlins end up losing in extras. It's a controversial decision, and Contra comes out later and says, quote, "I think next time they have to make sure to ask me before taking me out of the game." Quote, "But I respect the decision." But it was a costly decision because Alcantara, which would have been awesome for the Marlins. I mean, back-to-back complete game shutouts. 2 out of the first 3 games, you got a shutout. Would have been a feel-good story. Instead, they lose. And then Alcantara pitches again against the Tigers in his next start. 6 innings, 10 hits allowed, 7 earned runs on Sunday. They only score 3 runs in a 3-game series against the Tigers. So what was going to be a glorious fucking Wednesday afternoon or whatever turns out disastrous, and the Marlins season takes a turn. And they lose their first place spot to the Atlanta Braves, baby. Put on the chop. Ooh. We are the hottest team in baseball, Mitchell. And if there's one person that deserves the credit, it's you.
Me.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
For your undying support.
Yeah, what are you wearing? Baseball podcast?
Oh, it's hockey, bro, for Ovechkin. Ovechkin's final game yesterday, maybe.
Maybe.
But I decided to break out my Caps jersey, dude. You don't think it's cool?
It is.
You putting Mitch's support over Unk's?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mitchell, you couldn't shake a stick at Unk support.
I really couldn't.
He's been support. I mean, and that's not even a diss because no one's a bigger fan than Unk. So the Braves have a amazing week. It starts with a fight, bro. So the Braves fight. They play the Angels. Game 1 against the Angels, they got Chris Sale going. Chris Sale gives up 1 hit while throwing up against the Athletics. So in his start before this, he allows 1 hit and he's sick as fuck, but then he's healthy, goes in against the Angels who suck, allows 6 runs in 4 innings against the Angels, walks in a runner and starts hitting him in the head, himself in the head with a baseball. Now, this is an important distinction here because this starts a trend for the Braves. I've never seen someone use a baseball in their hand and fucking sock somebody with it until I saw Chris Sale do it on Wednesday or on Sunday. What day was that?
That was Monday.
Monday. So the first time I've ever seen someone hit themselves in the face with a baseball or hit anyone in the face with a baseball while holding the baseball. Remember this because the Braves use this move going forward, okay? So the next day, Jorge Soler comes to the plate against Ronaldo Lopez, hits a first inning home run. The Braves go down 2-0. So they lose game 1, then go down 2-0 in the second to the Angels. Not what you want to see. And this is coming off of 3 games lost in a row. So not good. Jorge Soler in his career against Ronaldo Lopez, 14 for 23 with 11 RBIs, 5 home runs against Ronaldo. He's got a 2,045 OPS plus versus Ronaldo Lopez. So next time he comes to the plate, Ronaldo Lopez got to make him uncomfortable. 2-2 count, high inside fastball, hits his hand. So he hits Jorge Soler. Don't think it's on purpose. Obviously not on purpose on a 2-2 count. But, you know, when the guy's butt fucking you every time he comes to the plate, you got to get into his kitchen a little bit. He starts staring at Lopez. Sorry, take it back. back. So he hits him on a 2-2 count, no problem, right? It's his third at bat. He throws it up and in, almost hits him, gets to the backstop. So that's when Jorge Soler starts thinking, is this on purpose? Because you just hit me last at bat. Now you're throwing it up and in, almost hit me again. Starts staring at him, starts talking shit. They exchange words, and out of nowhere, Jorge Soler charges the mound. A full-on square off, full-on fight. Jorge Soler doesn't really land anything. However, that's got to be a scary feeling. Jorge Soler has got to be, 6'5", 270? A fucking specimen. Full-on beast of a fucking baller. How would you describe that physique, Jack?
I had nothing loaded up, but
Monumental physique.
impressive. I mean, give him a bronze statue.
Come on. I mean, the Braves might after that home run in the World Series. Former Braves player fighting a current Braves player. Puts you in a weird spot as a Braves fan. However, Soler doesn't really land much. Ronaldo Lopez fucking hits him with the baseball. So he wields the baseball. He brings out the baseball move, the same move that Chris Sale used against himself the day before. Palms the baseball, gets him in the head a little bit. So he lands the biggest blow, not a massive blow, but the biggest blow, I apologize, the biggest blow coming was manager Walt Weiss comes in with the tackle. 62-year-old Walt Weiss brings down the bronze statue, Jorge Soler. And God, this is a great form tackle, 62-year-old man. And this is something you don't get last year with Brian Snitker.
No shot.
No shot. And that is the difference right this year with the Braves. Last year with Brian Snitker,
It would have been the last thing he ever did.
oh man, could you imagine Snitker going in there? Snitker would have probably taken Soler's side in this. And it would have been the whole thing. But Walt Weiss, he got his boys back. Players manager, gets down and dirty, takes him down, form tackles the bronze statue, and, plays peacemaker. So this guy, Walt Weiss, former MLB player,
Former third Bash brother, rookie of the year.
people forget. Did he do steroids, Mitchell? Are you going to accuse him of steroids?
He said he did creatine.
Ooh.
Well, and he did andro. He said he did andro.
Oh, that's what it was. So he did do steroid. Well, is it technically steroids? Depends who you ask. Legal. He did a legal steroid, androstenedione. It was legal. Not anymore, but it was legal at the time. But most importantly, this guy got a black belt in Taekwondo, trained MMA for 15 to 20 years, does jujitsu. While on the Rockies, he would wrestle relievers. That's a nice tidbit. Guy would wrestle relievers for fun. Dude, I eat relievers for breakfast, motherfucker. Wrestling relievers. So while he was the bench coach for the Braves, or that was his title, bench coach?
Yeah.
So back in 2018 it was, he apparently got into a scuffle with Josh Donaldson. He put Josh Donaldson in a chokehold. So this guy can fucking, and this is our Skip over here, so you love that for the Braves. Like I said, Snitker, this happened last year. Total different story. And I think this is the difference for the Braves this season. Because, we're the same team as last year, basically, minus some good pitchers, and we're playing a lot better ball.
So you're saying the difference is the players are now scared of the manager.
They're scared of the manager, and they're galvanized by his ferocity, bro.
During spring training, when all of the stuff about Walt Weiss was coming out, like how he was a black belt, it was kind of like, Braves propaganda, get to know your manager. Never thought I'd see him use any of his training to tackle Jorge Soler.
Already in his first month, brother, Walt Weiss says his training includes mixed martial arts, a lot of jujitsu, Muay Thai, that type of training. Training is basically his life. It's part of his lifestyle. He just loves fucking dudes up.
He's
my lifestyle.
So much bigger than he was as a player now. Like when he was a scrawny little shortstop on the A's, the Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco were using him as warm-ups, lifting him, and now he's lifting other players.
That's disrespectful.
It's the Bash Bros. So
Yeah, you can see he doesn't really have a choice.
let me show you. Let's see if I can find it. There's a picture where they're just holding Walt Weiss.
In the meantime, I'll try to make a beat.
Here we go. Look how little effort.
It's
they're
like
using.
Adam
I was
Sandler.
about to say he looks like Sandler.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
A little bash, bro.
Yeah. Well, for the record, it wouldn't be hard for even you and I to hold a man up like that. But we could do it to Joey after this.
Good luck, dude. I got a black belt in fucking up dumbasses.
All right, man.
Sorry about that. Honestly, you didn't deserve that, bro. I'm
Nah,
just,
that's okay.
just trying to, I'm fired up with this high testosterone. This Braves team's giving me high tea. So, but go back to my former point. Last year with Snicker at the mound, at the helm, this probably would have turned into some controversy. Would have been bad for the boys. So far, it's the opposite. I mean, they've been unstoppable since this fight. So both Ronaldo and Jorge Soler get suspended, which is kind of crazy to me. What the fuck is Ronaldo Lopez going to do? The guy gets charged by the bronze statue, dude. What are you just going to let him hit you? I don't understand that. They both got suspended 7 games. Lopez gets his bumped down to 5 games, so he's not even going to miss a start, but he's going to lose a lot of money during those 5 games. Soler hits a home run his next 2 games, so it also pumps up Soler. Proud of Soler. I love Soler. I mean, I don't really take this fight as personal. I think there was some misunderstanding. I feel like it was just a nice little fight, get over with, and the boys are back on good terms. I don't know, but nothing personal against Soler. Still love him. However, the moral of the story is the Braves reign supreme. They win the fight. They win the series. The only team in MLB history that has, they're the only team in MLB this year who haven't lost a series. And that's what Unk says. You can't win every game. You just got to win every series. So far, the Braves haven't lost a series. They did tie a series, but they haven't lost a series. They are 10-6, second best record in baseball behind the Dodgers. 46 run differential. That is the best in baseball. They're third in runs, third in OPS, third in average, second in homers, and fourth in on-base percentage. They scored 11 runs in 1 game against the Giants, shutout in game 2. Guards. So in their next series against the Guardians, they score 11 runs in game 1. Then they get shut out in game 2, but then score 13 runs in game 3. So score 24 runs in a series while getting shut out in game 2. The offense is looking like 2023, Mitch, and I love to see it. Drake Baldwin could be the best catcher in MLB.
I think he might be.
Let's not jinx it, but so far this season he is. He's got 17 RBIs. That leads the league. 167 OPS plus. Matt Olson is back hitting fucking bombs. 2 homers this week. Should have been 3. Inch away. Every inch counts, if you know what I'm saying. He's got 184 OPS plus. Ozzie Albies hitting well. 126 OPS plus. And our new guy, Dominic Smith, baby. Woo! 197 OPS plus. Also a big addition to the Braves lineup is Ronald Acuna Jr., who was not here for the first week and a half. So going into the week, he was batting 194 with a 318 on-base percentage and a 540 OPS. However, it was only a matter of fucking time. This week, Acuna, 308 average, 615 slugging percentage, hit his first home run, and he's got a 973 OPS this week. So his OPS plus is up to 103 on the season, which is pretty fucking sick, all things considered, since he started out so slow. Also leads the league in caught stealing and ABS challenge losses. Not a good...
I mean, the Braves are one of the worst teams when it comes to ABS. It's kind of embarrassing.
we'll
But that's the what if you have to have a trade-off, you know?
yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're bad at ABS.
It's funny
Bitch.
to lead the league in a negative stat. Like lead the league in caught stealing is a crazy. way
Lead the
to
league in
rank it.
caught stealing and losing challenges for Acuna. It's the intangibles for Acuna. He'll get better. Braves second best starters ERA and first best ERA for the bullpen. We've been doing it all, bro. And that's with Strider, Schaffner, and Schwellenbach on the mound. The S's. Why we get pitchers with last names with S's, bro? They always get hurt. Strider, Smith Schaffner, Schwellenbach,
The Spencers too are Spencers.
Sandusky,
Sale.
Sale.
Yeah, Mitch's notes are crazy right now. With
This is
Strider,
Joey's
Smith,
notes.
Shaver,
This
Bender,
is Joey's.
Strider.
This is
Smith
Joey's.
Schaffner, who is
Okay.
dating Jose Canseco's daughter, by the way. Fun fact.
Typical human feces.
Yep. So it all comes back to the Bash Bros.
That's Canseco, by the way. I'm not trying to just be rude to this gentleman.
No. Josie Canseco, come on the podcast.
Mitch didn't know that clip. Is that not shocking?
Not even after the steroid era research?
No. There were so many clips that I watched, though. I don't know.
I mean, I used that clip in like 4 different segments. It might have just been me doing that portion or something.
That's his interview with Howard Stern.
No, that's him getting bombarded by TMZ leaving.
Typical human feces.
Yeah.
Okay. But the stamina one is from Howard Stern.
Yeah, the stamina one I don't have right now.
Cool. Yeah, Canseco, I mean, come on. You got to love Canseco. Love him to death. Got to love my Braves. They're hot. Best team in baseball, other than the Dodgers. Best run differential in baseball. First place. And you think they're going to keep this up? Or
I mean, it feels
because
nice
we were fucking pissed. We were not confident going into the season, and we're Braves homers.
Yeah.
At least I'm a homer.
You don't think I am?
I think you're more objective in your thinking and your fandom. You're kind of like I just kind of always think the Braves are going to do good. I don't know.
Delusional.
Yeah.
I think I could be a delusional fan.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy. But this year I was glass half empty. Now I'm kind of going back to glass 90% full. We're going to the World Series because we got our manager, Walt Weiss, and the Phillies are no longer a threat.
Is Weiss the vibes guy now?
For sure, bro. Do you see his tackle?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean,
So Lara, after getting tackled by Walt Weiss, was like, "Yeah, I respect it."
You can't not.
Gotta respect.
Because he committed so hard. He had no care in the world where he was going to end up at the end of that tackle. Damn near a double leg. Get this man in the Olympic wrestling team.
He'd probably win the whole damn thing, man. But he's got more important things. The Atlanta Braves. Phillies, though. Phillies lose 2 out of 3 to the Giants, which sucks because that's the Giants' first series win. Thank you for coming, Phillies. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Giants. The Phillies haven't won a series at Oracle Park since 2013. So when they go to San Francisco, that's what happens. They get shut out in back-to-back games against the Giants. Robbie Ray strikes out 7 in 6 2/3 innings, shuts him out. Tyler Mahle walks 3 batters, or maybe it was 6. I don't know, because I feel like 3 batters, I wouldn't have put it in. That doesn't seem that crazy. Either way, but pitches 5 2/3 scoreless innings against the Phillies. The Phillies right now are 28th in runs.
He walked 4 batters.
Okay, 4 batters.
Yeah, that still doesn't seem like a notable amount
Yeah.
for you to put in. But yeah.
Let me just shred this whole thing and let's end this thing. 4 walks. But the real moral of the story is the Phillies offense. You suck. Because Bryson Stott, he's batting 196. Alec Boehm, 148. Adolis Garcia, 204. Not great. But Bryce Harper, he's back. Mitchell was thinking, washed alert. Bryce Harper is washed. He's cooked. He's chopped cheese. Bryce Harper's back. He hit 526 with a 640 on-base percentage and a 895 slugging this week. 6 RBIs in his last 6 games. Came into the week with a 538 OPS. Now it's up to 902. So Bryce Harper has spring has sprung, and so is Bryce Harper. The team, however, not as much. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks after losing to the Giants. So they lost 3 of their last 5. It's not good when they have to face the Diamondbacks at home. Brings you back to the 2023 NLCS. So, are you worried about my Phillies?
This is where the fandom does not get objective. I love seeing the Phillies be bad. But I don't know if I'm worried, especially with Harper hitting again. Like, I feel like Bryce Harper, obviously one of the best players on the team, but when he was not hitting, you can kind of dismiss the rest of the Phillies. But with him back, then Bryson Stott hitting 196 doesn't look as bad. Alec Boehm going over 15 isn't that bad. And they're 7 and 8? I'm not too concerned.
It's too early to be too concerned. I would like to see some more gumption out of that line, a little bit more thump out of there, okay? Andrew Painter, this is funny. He had a migraine, so he couldn't start. So they rule him out, and then he just comes into the third inning. It's crazy. You gotta do what you gotta do to save the pen. So 6 of their 7 wins have been decided by 2 runs or less. So everything has been tight for the Phillies. Nothing easy early on for the Phillies, man. And 6 and you're right, 7 and 8 is not a great start, not a terrible start. But like I said, all these games are close. There's no real big convincing wins, and they've played a lot of, kind of dog shit teams.
Their schedule is weird coming up next. So they play 3 at home against the Cubs, 3 at home against the Braves, 4 on the road against the Cubs, 3 on the road against the Braves.
So it's tougher for the Phils. It's going to be an NL East matchup. Getting a little nervous, man. These games are starting to matter. There's only 145 left.
And I was doing the math. I was like, wow, we're already 10% of the way through the season.
Oh, gosh. Where does the time go? They grow up so fast. It's only April, guys. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But like my point was going to be, they've played a series against the Nats and the Rockies and the Giants and the Rangers. So, like, the schedule has been not hard, and the Phillies have been pretty mid. So, step it up, boys. You can't lose 2-3 to the Giants, especially the state of that locker room. So the Giants, they win their first series of the year. However, according to their manager, they've already had 3 clubhouse incidents in 10 days. Now, no one knew about the clubhouse incidents, but the manager tells the media that there have been clubhouse incidents. Why would you do that, Mitchell?
I have no clue.
So Tony Vitello, the word on Tony Vitello by the people in the community, that is the baseball community, is that he's not very media trained. And he keeps saying shit that is like causing them to write articles about him when it's not necessary. So he tells the media a couple things we were able to keep from you guys, which was great. Speaking to reporters from the dugout.
That's so stupid.
So he says, we've been doing some things we were able to keep from you. But here's what it was. So basically saying, I've done a really good job keeping things in the house. I want to brag about it. So let's tell you guys and get it out of the house. If you lump those two and the one you're referencing, which is kind of the meeting on the mound, referring to Matt Chapman screaming at Casey Schmidt for not catching the fucking ball. We've really only had 3 things that have been, I don't know, I don't want to say controversial because that's a mislabel, but kind of some intensity back and forth a little bit. We've played our best 3 games following that. We've only had 3 controversies in the first 10 games of the season. Not bad. I would say that's pretty bad. So there's been 2 other, quote, harmless incidents behind closed doors, according to their manager. They do win their first series. They won 3 games in a row, so it looked like the Giants were turning it around, but they just lost a series to the Orioles. So the Giants right now, they can't fucking hit. They're 29th in runs. If you go down their lineup, their best players aren't hitting that well. Patrick Bailey, Helio Ramos, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Rafael Devers all have negative WARs. Patrick Bailey's hitting 146 and he's slugging 146. Doesn't have an extra base hit yet this season. Helio Ramos, 543 OPS. Jung-Hoo Lee, 561 OPS. Rafael Devers, 602 OPS. The OPSs on that team are what you would call low. You ever heard that song?
Apple bottom jeans.
With the boots, with the fur. And now Luis Ariz is injured.
He got spiked. A weird spiking. He was fielding a ball. The runner tried to jump over him and spiked him.
I hate spikings. Can we just ban spikes, dude?
What do you want them to play in?
You know, barefoot. Shoeless Joe. That's what Shoeless Joe did.
Who's Shoeless Joe?
Shoeless Joe Jackson from the 1919 Black Sox. Say it ain't so, Joe.
Black feet.
Start a banana ball league, but it's just barefooted players. No spikings.
That's kinky, Mitch. Brought to you by OnlyFans.
Yo,
Free feet on the field, baby.
Yeah, they charge for that. We'll blur them out, but I do like the idea. That's for the pay-per-view only.
Gobblehead night. I regret that a little.
Gobblehead night? Chill, bro. We don't curse them. We don't make sexual innuendos on this podcast.
That was close.
Speaking of gobblers, there's another bird in town.
That was pretty good.
The Orioles. Chirp, 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 chirp. We need a bird sound on the soundboard every time we talk about the Orioles. The Orioles, they beat the Giants. A battle of the oranges. 2 orange teams going against each other. Love to see it. The Orioles have had a great week. So not only do they win 2 out of 3 against the Giants, they swept the White Sox earlier. So they've won 5 of their last 6. And Gunnar Henderson, 6 home runs, leads the AL. Taylor Ward, their offseason acquisition, leads the AL in doubles. He's got a 183 OPS plus. Leody. How do you say it? Leody Taveras, 182 OPS plus, and Adley Rutschman with a 150 OPS plus. So they're 6th in the league in average, 6th in on-base percentage, 6th in OPS, but only 22nd in runs. So they're hitting, they're not scoring. I guess, so I would say that's a positive. You know, maybe their record and their results aren't indicative as good as the offense has been. However, there are some negative angles you could take on this team. The injuries. So Adley Rutschman, great start to the year, but he's on the IL. That's ankle inflammation. Hopefully he's back soon. Tyler O'Neill goes down with a concussion. He's hit pretty well this season, but he's going to be out for a little bit. And I think there's another injury. Or is that it for the Orioles?
Eflin, Tommy John.
Eflin's done with Tommy John. And that sucks because the Orioles, it's really their pitching staff that's been the problem the past season, last season. The offense you were confident in going forward, I do like what they've done so far. Trevor Rogers, however, on the starting staff, he's continued his insane run. He's got a 1.89 ERA through 3 starts. And they got this guy, Craig Albernaz. He just keeps slapping asses, dude. One of the best ass slappers in the league. They're going viral for slapping butt.
He's a very enthusiastic manager. You have Walt Weiss.
Oh, he's the manager.
He's the manager. Walt Weiss is tackling guys on the field, and you have Abernaz slapping ass in the dugout.
I just want to warn, if you're like a little league, high school coach, just because they do in the pros, don't be doing this.
No.
In high school and little league, you know what I'm saying?
And even if you're like let's say like you're the CEO of a small baseball media company with a podcast, maybe you shouldn't slap ass of your employees either. Just saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll put that in my notes too. Yeah. Any person of leadership, there's only a few jobs where you're allowed to slap your male employees on the ass.
Can't think of one.
Manager of a fucking baseball team is definitely one of them.
Head coach of a football team.
If you're a head coach of a football team, you could slap asses. If it's pros, high school, you used to be able to do it in high school, not anymore. Okay. Be careful. Middle school and below, definitely not. But can you think of any other jobs where you can slap guys in the ass whenever you want?
No, not other than sports, I guess. I still think in sports.
Even a strip club, you get in trouble for that, man.
Yeah, you cannot do that at the strip club. That's for damn sure.
So, and that's what makes baseball beautiful, bro. You could be cool with the boys.
Shabash.
Oh, Ryan Mountcastle was the other injury, but I believe he's back, no? Because I don't see him on the IL here.
Oh, no, he's got a broken foot.
Oh, he left Saturday's game after falling running to second on a double. I did see that clip. He was stumbling and fumbling.
He still made it.
So I love it. I like the Orioles, man. They're getting hot. I love to see them. They got off to such a terrible start last year. This year, they're tied for first. Tied for first, baby. Once that weather warms up and Pete Alonso gets hot, it's off to the races.
They have another national anthem rendition. Jack, did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it.
I don't know if you're ready for this.
Is it sick?
Y'all ready for this?
This is like some like fancy professional whistler they brought in.
Is it? It's like from the fucking The Wire. That guy from The Wire.
Never saw The Wire.
Well, he does the whistle. I never saw it either, dude. But he whistles, and then he like everyone goes, "It's Rico." You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You never saw The Wire?
No.
I thought you're a movie TV show guy.
What do you mean?
You be filming shit. You got cameras. I thought you're into cinema.
Hey, bro, I'm trying to show a little respect. They don't have a flag to look at.
That's what we should get an American flag in here.
Yeah.
This fucking. Take your hat off, Mitch. Piece of shit.
I think we got it.
Respect.
Not that fucking impressive of a whistler, if
Yeah,
I'm
I
being
mean,
honest.
hey, it takes a lot.
4-time whistling champion to you. I don't even know how you become a 4-time whistling champion.
Listen, it's not going to sound good. First of all, it's outside. The acoustics aren't great. Everyone knows that sound systems in stadiums are not ideal, and you're whistling through a microphone. It's not really built for that. So let's
true.
get them a little bit of grace here. It's a 4-time fucking champion.
International whistling champion.
Yeah, and it takes a lot to get out in front of a group of people and, pour your heart out. Yeah, I got it, bro.
Just gave yourself an applause.
No, I'm giving it the whistler, bro.
Do we have time for this?
We got all the time in the world, boss. But if you want me to move on, I'll move on, man. Who gives a fuck? Oh, that was pretty good, though. No offense
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
to the champion, but you got some competition. So let's keep it in the Beltway. The Nationals, they sweep the Cardinals. Sorry, they lose the series against the Cardinals, but they sweep the Brewers. We briefly covered the Brewers losing to the Nats, but the Nats, I mean, offensively are on a freaking heater. Fourth best offense in baseball by runs. Came into the week batting 125 with a 572.
That would be James Wood.
James Wood. I'm sorry. James Wood had an amazing week. There were some questions about him in D.C., the sports radio guys.
Didn't realize Nationals fans were that intense, to be honest, but they were very concerned. They were saying, if you're ignoring the James Wood problem, you're lying to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I've talked to a few Nats fans who are worried about James Wood. Worried in general because their boy Dylan Cruz hasn't panned out. James Wood had an amazing start to his career, but since I want to say the second half of last year hasn't been great. And started the season, coming into this week, was batting 125, was the 12th worst baseball by WAR. But this week, he had 545 with a 655 on base percentage, 1,091 slugging percentage, a 1,700 OPS, and hit 3 home runs. Not to mention CJ Abrams also going off this year. He's got a 177 OPS plus. He's batting 321, 4 home runs this year. Joey Wiemer still isn't playing every day, but he's got an OPS over 1,000. And the offense is sick. They were right up there with the Dodgers, I think, on Saturday before the Braves went off, I think was what happened. We leapfrogged the Nats, but the Nats, 4th best offense in baseball. Now, the starters, you might as well throw them into the Anacostia. I mean, they suck ass, man. 29th in starters ERA, 28th bullpen in MLB. They got a 5.51 team ERA, second worst in baseball behind the Trastros. Golly. So the Nats, though, hey, sweep the Brewers, man. And hey, it's a fun group of guys, young team, young manager, young GM.
Young everything. My fiance was watching the Nationals game the other day. The pitching coach comes out and she's like, who is that? He looks like he's a teenager. And he kind of does look like a teenager. Their pitching coach is 30 years old.
Ooh.
Just all bunch of
30 years old.
30 years old.
Interesting. Let's give a clap for the Nats. Another little bit of a surprising team, the Cardinals. So they beat the Nats 2 out of 3. They scored 19 runs in 3 games. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, so they go 500 this week. But the real guy to watch is Jordan Walker. So Jordan Walker had a good start to his career. Jordan Walker is the hottest hitter in baseball. Jordan Walker is a fucking beast who hits 500-foot bombs, who was the worst player in baseball, arguably the last 2 years, but all of a sudden might be the youngest best hitter in baseball? That is the question. He arrived in the majors in 2023, so he was a great rookie. He had a 113 OPS plus, 16 home runs. He was just 20 years old, right? But his second year and his third year, 2024 and 2005, he had a negative 2.5 WAR. So he had a 595 OPS, was his sixth worst in MLB when it comes to hitting, and the fourth worst player in baseball when it comes to WAR over his last 2 seasons. Jordan Walker has more WAR in his first 12 games this year than his first 3 seasons combined. And you might be saying, that's insane. However, he had a negative WAR over his first 3 years, so he had more WAR in his first game than his first 3 seasons combined. He had more WAR before the season started, Mitchell. He had a negative WAR.
He has a 1.4 WAR this year. His career WAR is still negative 1.3.
But it doesn't fucking matter because he's hit 5 home runs in 6 games this week, a 459-foot grand slam. He's the 3rd best player in the league by WAR, 4th best hitter in the league by OPS, and leads the league with 7 home runs. Lead the league, bro. And that is my Cardinals. And let's move on to the Central, but a different Central, the American League Central. We're all Americans, aren't we? Even though Jack said he wouldn't put an American flag up here because he's a piece of shit.
I didn't.
And you'll do what you're told, motherfucker. We're getting the American flag up here, and we're going to do Don't Tread on Me, and we're going to do the blue stripe, dude, for the boys in blue, and we're going to do the red stripe for the fire department, and we're going to do what else?
Canadian flag.
Canadian flag.
Why the Canadian flag?
The Blue Jays.
For the Blue Jays, bro.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Come on, Jack. Obviously.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
We're just putting up as many flags as possible.
Yeah, because you don't like flags, bro. Guys got a problem with flags.
I think we put up the Nepal flag just because it's cool.
If we put up all the flags, I'm down to put an American flag.
No, let's put the Nepal flag because it's cool. What the fuck's the Nepal flag?
It's the only flag that's not a rectangle.
Oh, it's triangles.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is it like mountains?
It's like 2 triangles on top of each other.
Speaking of flags, the Minnesota Twins, man. A team of many flags. You ever been in the stadium? They got flags everywhere.
I've not.
Flags everywhere, dude.
Well, they have to represent 2 cities. So they probably have 2 city flags.
Name the 2 cities they represent.
St. Paul and Minneapolis.
That's crazy. They look just alike.
I wonder. Do you think they mirror?
Fraternal twins.
Oh, they're fraternal. Gotcha.
Well, let me tell you, we shit on the Twins a lot early on. The Minnesota Twins have the best record in the American League right now. They're 9-7. They've won 6 of their last 7. 6-7. 4-game streak. 4-game sweep of Mitchell's Tigers. Wah. Sucks to suck, Mitch. At least you got your Braves. Through 13 total games, the Twins bullpen has thrown 3 pitches faster than 95 miles per hour. They don't even have a bullpen that can hit 95. They're throwing that in Little League nowadays. 4 different relievers earned a save in their series against the Tigers. I don't know if that's ever happened. So 4-game sweep of the Tigers, a new closer every single game. They have the 25th bullpen, 25th ranked bullpen by ERA, so not a great bullpen. But their starters are 6th right now, and they're 6th in runs scored. They had an insane offensive week. They take down Framber Valdez. So Framber Valdez, through 2 starts, had 10 Ks, only allowed 1 earned run in 12 innings, came into the series with a .75 ERA. Twins wreck him. 10 hits, score 8 earned runs against Framber Valdez. His ERA goes from .75 to 4.76 in 1 start. Doesn't stop there. They go against Skubal. Skubal gives up 4 earned runs in 4 2/3, allows 8 hits, can't make it out of the 5th inning against this Twins offense, who do not sleep on my Twin City twirlers. That's the pitching staff. The Twin City torpedoes, a lot of torpedo bats, bombs away coming over there. And that's with Byron Buxton having a -1 WAR, .1 WAR, batting 182. Still, 6th best offense in baseball, and those playoff odds are up to 37.2%. Do not sleep on the fucking Twins. They have the best record in the AL. Unfortunately, Royce Lewis is injured again. Sprained knee. he felt a pop, but said he could play if needed.
It was weird. I think both of us were watching that game. Royce Lewis, he like swings, hurts his knee, stays in the game, hustles to first, and then he's done.
Yeah. So not a big shocker because Royce Lewis, historically injury prone. You don't like that he heard a pop, though.
I don't know why he stayed in the game.
Yeah. Well, hey. Prayers up for Royce Lewis. He'll be back. They sweep the Tigers. So the Tigers, not a great start to the season. They get swept by the Twins. Parker Meadows collides with Riley Green on this play. Brutal play. Gets a concussion and a broken arm on the same play. Guy, looks like he briefly gets knocked out. So the Tigers had lost 5 games in a row in 9 of their last 11 games after this series. But they go to Miami and I'm not going to say it, but they do something to the Marlins that, yeah, Jack, close your eyes, buddy. They sweep your Marlins. They allow 3 runs in 3 games against the Marlins. So pitching staff looked amazing after that series against the Twins. Kiter Montero, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 0 earned runs, 7 Ks. He's got a 1.74 ERA on the year for Montero. Casey Mize, 1 earned run allowed in 5 2/3, 5 Ks. And Skubal returns after his Twins outing, 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, and 7 Ks. You like your rotation over there in Detroit?
Yeah.
Little Caesar style?
Little Caesar's still waiting for that home run in left field.
Well, you got a bigger chance now because Kevin McGonigal has entered the chat. Hits his first Major League home run. His OPS is up to 920. Rookie of the Year candidate in Detroit. Riley Green hits his first home run of the season. He's coming alive. Javi Baez is good again.
First week of the season, people were like, man, Javi sucks again. And now his OPS plus is up to 137.
Yep. So Javi Baez hit his first home run this weekend. He's batting .316 with an .815 OPS. Love it for Javi Baez. So a little bit of a mixed bag for the Tigers. Tough start to the week, but great end of the week. And then the Royals. My lovely Royals. We saved the best for last over here. They're not even last. But the Royals lose a series to the Guardians, then split a series against the White Sox. Not the starts of the season I would have hoped for the Royals. Their offense is struggling mightily. They're 26th in runs. So this is an interesting stat from Chance LeBeau. The Royals have played 16 games. Bobby Witt Jr. has reached base 28 times, leads the league in stolen bases. He has touched home once all season. So he's got on base 28 times and has scored 1 time while leading the league in stolen bases. They can't fucking hit with runners in scoring position, or they just can't hit in general if you're not named Bobby Witt or Kyle Isbell.
Even Bobby Witt hasn't hit that well, but I don't know how you lead the league in stolen bases. You hit leadoff. Or does he hit leadoff, or is he like second?
I don't know.
Top of the lineup, and then you score once, and we're 3 weeks into the season.
You got to pick it up. Mikel, it's actually pronounced Michael, I've found out, I believe. It's like, if you're going to pronounce it Michael, why don't you just spell it Michael? Piece of. Apologize.
How's it spelled? Because on here it's spelled Michael.
It's spelled like Mikel.
Maikel.
Got it.
I think it's pronounced Michael. Acuna's cousin. That's what I call him. He's had a great start to the year, but other than him, not a lot going on in that offense. The pitchers are doing great, though. They shut the White Sox down. Back-to-back games, they shut out the White Sox. Michael Wacha, 8 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts, .43 ERA on the year for Michael Wacha. Watch out. Cy Young. Best pitcher in baseball, Michael Wacha.
That is such an intense
It
ball.
really is. It's very cinematic.
In my ear, it's not as loud, so
You just wait.
turn it up, baby. Chris Bubik, too. 7 shutout innings, 11 strikeouts, 2.50 ERA on the year. So they shut the White Sox down back-to-back games. They left the White Sox scoreless for 20 innings in a row. Still didn't sweep, but that's not impressive because the White Sox are terrible at offense. Shocker. They might be going for another worst record in baseball record this year. Last in runs scored, they have 2 players with OPS pluses over 100. That's Munetake Murakami and Colson Montgomery, who both have a 108 OPS plus. So their only hitters who are above league average are basically league average. Not going to get it done. The Royals held the White Sox to 20 innings straight of scoreless baseball. Seth Lugo, also another pitcher on the Royals, who's a beast. 1.53 ERA so far this year. But they are 7-9, 2 games back of the Twins and the Guardians. The Guardians are now tied in first with who? The Twins.
The Twins.
I'm sorry. They split their week 3-3, play mid 500 baseball, which is what you expect out of the AL Central. They beat the Royals 2 out of 3, but then lose to the Braves 2 out of 3. And I don't have that many big takeaways out of Cleveland, other than we got to show our love to Jose Ramirez, who has hit a home run against every single major league team now, and also breaks a 108-year record. What is that?
He is now the Cleveland Guardians franchise leader in games played. He broke Terry Turner's record that Turner set in 1918.
Terry who?
Right? I'd never heard of Terry Turner. Cleveland's one of the oldest franchises in the game, and Jose Ramirez is now the king of Cleveland baseball.
Well, a king has been crowned. I think it's funny how they the Guardians, who are in first place, like they've done it with starting pitching, yet Tanner Bybee, who's kind of like their main guy, at least the past 2 years, has been one of the worst starters in baseball this year. He leads the league in hits allowed, earned runs, and home runs. Yet they still, I think, ranked, 4th or 6th in starters ERA? And that's also with Slade Ciccone, who's got a 5.74. But it's this Messick kid who's getting it done. So that's the Guardians. And last but not least, Jack's Rays. So I just wanted to give Jack a moment to get, just talk about his Rays, man. You have the floor.
Baseball, pitcher, batter, manager.
Y'all
Not to love.
Y'all got all of that going on right now. Pitcher, manager, and fielder. Because y'all just took over first place, baby. The Rays overtake the Yankees. They're in first place. Chandler Simpson is the one really exciting player. He's got a 4.11 average. Second best in baseball. 7 steals. Second most steals in baseball. Leads the league in batting average, hits, and triples, which you might say that doesn't make sense because I just said he was second in batting average. Well, guess what? Nobody's fucking perfect. Not even Chandler Simpson can claim to be perfect, but he is having an insane year. This is Wall. What is these stats, Mitchell, you got on him being terrible at everything except for the results?
He's in the first percentile in average exit velocity, first percentile in barrel, first percentile in bat speed. He has the slowest bat speed in all of baseball. He doesn't walk, 20th percentile in walk, 28th percentile in slugging, expected slugging, and he's somehow in the 86th percentile in expected batting average. So he's just getting it done.
He doesn't hit the ball hard, but when he hits it, he runs fast as fuck, and he gets to first base. Okay, he leads the league with 5 infield hits. Second fastest player in baseball with a 30-foot-per-second sprint speed. Has the best home plate to first base in baseball. This is a guy, one of the most exciting players in the league.
Seems on brand for the Rays, right? I mean, isn't that small ball?
Yeah.
Yep, they get it done with players who aren't necessarily the most sought after, skills that have been probably under valued recently in baseball, like steals and small ball infield hits. A lot of teams will look at a guy with low exit velocities and say, nah, he ain't good. But the Rays, they saw something with him, and so far it's turning out. They also saw something with Drew Rasmussen, who leads the league in WHIP. 3 runs allowed in 3 starts, shuts the Yankees down over 6 innings. And Nick Martinez, first full year as a starter since I think like his rookie year, he's got a 2.16 ERA. So that is very Rays-like. They're turning these guys into stars, and it's worked out so far. So they're 8-7, but first place. Another smorgasbord up there in the AL East. But that's going to do it for me and the boys for week 3 of MLB. Episode 51. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. A compliment would be perfect right now. And if there's anything else you guys want to say, now's your time, because we're not going to be back until Monday.
Us or them?
Us. It's our last episode until Monday, man.
Earth Day's coming up. Oh, you want to go to the Rays game next Tuesday? Sorry, not the Rays game. The Braves.
Braves game.
Yeah, I'm going to the Braves game next Tuesday.
You are? Without us?
Yeah, you want to
Wow.
come?
Yeah, I was just saying, do you want to go with us?
Well, I'm already going with. I don't have the details worked out, but I was gonna go because Matt Chernowski invited me. He's a big Braves fan, so you can rock with us.
I mean, I guess, dude. I mean, me and Matt Chernowski got beef, brother.
So you don't want to go now because Matt Chernowski's going?
No, I'm kidding. I love Matt. Yeah, I'll go. Let me know. Do you already get tickets yet?
No.
When you do, will you keep me in mind so we
Yep.
can get same section?
And I'm sure Mitchell, you already got tickets.
Don't. No.
You don't have tickets.
Yeah.
Ooh. Why don't you have tickets?
I have tickets for Monday, but I figured I can just get the tickets for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday later.
Damn, bro.
This guy's a fucking absolute savage.
He's gonna be on Zuna out there. Let's see the full uni.
That's why I don't live in Georgia,
Full
man. If I lived
unity.
within 50 miles of the park, I'd be there all the time.
All right. Well, if anyone wants to come to the Braves game on Tuesday and meet us in person, there will be a small fee for a conversation.
As always, if you can find Mitch, we will send you, I don't know, the 7-Eleven cup Joey's drinking out of right now.
We'll get a picture of Jack's T-shirt. And we'll give you one of these BDE T-shirts, dude.
I'll give you shirt off my back, bro. I'm going to be a shirtless man in the stands.
Boy, would that be a sight to see. And that is all, folks. We'll see you next time. Love you.
Typical human feces.